So, welcome everybody. If you're watching this in chronological order, this is our second official podcast. I am Armand. This is the Digenet podcast, Digital Entrepreneurship Network. We talk about all sorts of things happening in the world because pretty much everything that you can think of falls into the category of content if you want to make it that. And so, we're going to talk about some of the current things happening out there today. We're going to talk about some viewpoints. With me, of course, we got Quentin. I don't know if we're on last names, but I'll go with them. I'm Armand Santos. To my side, we got Quentin. Quentin, say hey.
Hey now.
There we go. And then we got Raylo or Raymond
Yep.
McDaniel on the bottom there. Give us a smile, Raymond.
Yeah. Oh,
There you
yeah.
go. Yeah, there we go. So we're talking stuff, and so here's our second time around. So we were talking about something before we started. Raymond, catch us up.
Yeah, we were pretty much talking about the Atlanta drama that's going on with Young Thug and him dividing Atlanta. It's
Young
pretty
Thug
much
is divided Atlanta, okay?
he's destroying the Atlanta hip hop scene.
So, question. So you're saying he's dividing Atlanta.
Yeah.
So there's people, from what you've told me about what's going on, I couldn't imagine anybody backing that dude at this point, except for maybe his super diehard fans.
It's gonna be interesting to see what happens because I'm just gonna say it like how they say it, Atlanta's not a real place. But it's weird, but it's like in Atlanta, and I'll just say in just the hip hop industry overall, when you're called a snitch, you know what I'm saying? Even though like we're talking about a musical culture, we're not talking about these aren't cartel members, these aren't, you know what I'm saying, robbers or anything like that. Even though they portray themselves to be these big bad street people and rap about their big bad street activities. But anytime you're called a snitch, you instantly are just ostracized. Like you're put outside the group.
Okay.
You're looked at as a person who's not solid. And Young Thug has done like where people kind of look at him as I'll just say he's the central figure in the whole Atlantic hip hop scene. You know what I'm saying? He's one of the biggest. You know what I'm saying? There's not too many people that are bigger than him. So it's like, and he's connected to everybody. Everybody, if you're in the Atlanta hip hop scene and you're pretty big, you're connected to Young Thug in some type of capacity.
Okay.
So now that he's done what he's done, it's going to be interesting to see what people do because
Well, let's
Reese,
take a second and talk about what he's done because you've caught us up on who he is.
yeah,
For those unfamiliar, but let's not make the assumption that people watching this thing know what he's done. What has he done?
yeah. Well, Young Thug was a part of a RICO case. Pretty much somebody had got killed. And there was a lot of crime that was circling around his record label, YSL Records, which was called Young Stoner Life. That's pretty much what the original name of it was. So Young Stoner Life, YSL, pretty much they're operating at, I'm just gonna say the Atlanta Police Department looked at them as operating as a record label slash street gang because they were operating street activities. Somebody had got killed from a rival record label slash street gangs. Pretty much these guys will be like street gangs in the streets and then they'll transition into becoming a record label, right? Like that's the same thing kind of what happened with Young Thug. It was like these are street homies. They turn into a record label because he started rapping. They come together and now they're successful. There was another rival record label that was did the same pretty much thing, and one of the big managers, which his name was Nut,
Oh, hold on,
got
Raymond.
killed.
Raymond, real quick. I'm going to go ahead and give a brief explanation for those not in the know so you guys can see the screen right now. It is indicating what a RICO charge is.
Oh yeah,
So,
indicate
okay,
what a RICO charge is.
yeah, RICO, Racketeer Influenced and Corrupt Organizations Act. That's what RICO is. It's a federal law designed to combat organized crime by holding individuals accountable for the pattern of racketeering activity within a criminal enterprise. So that's what they
Yeah,
hit him with. In fact, we'll pull up our good old Wikipedia and so people can take a look at it. So RICO's been around for quite a while. It's been, I think, it's like 1970. So
Yeah.
this was their way to rope individuals into things.
Hmm.
Okay, so we got our summary, and I'm reading it directly from Wikipedia. Under RICO, a person who has committed at least 2 acts of racketeering activity, drawn from a list of 35 crimes, within a 10-year period can be charged with racketeering if such acts are related in one of 4 specified ways to an enterprise. Okay, so
Yeah.
this is a way for them to charge individuals. And racketeering, let's take a look at that word. Okay, because and this gets me. Sometimes you see news organizations talking about these things as if people know what they are. Some people might, but racketeering, here it is. Racketeering is a type of organized crime in which the perpetrators set up a coercive, fraudulent, extortionary, or otherwise illegal coordinated scheme or operation, quote unquote, a racket, to repeatedly or consistently collect a profit. Okay, that's a term that was coined in 1927 in a statement about the influence of an organized crime within the Teamsters. Okay, that's how they came up with that word. So that's racketeering. Okay, so I'm gonna bring that screen down. So that's what this is. And so they hit up on the RICO charge. Let's continue with that.
So they hit him with the RICO charge. Somebody got killed from a rival record label. There was a whole bunch of other crimes, and originally 28 people were involved in this RICO. Some of the people that were involved in the RICO were actually artists on the label. One in particular, which was one of the most successful artists next to Young Thug, which was a rapper by the name Gunna. Gunna, at the beginning of the RICO case, probably 6 months into it, I want to say it's between 6 and 9 months, he decided to take a plea deal.
Okay.
He took the plea deal. And during the plea deal, he had to admit that YSL was a gang.
Okay.
He admits it. He gets up there. The judge asks him, "Is YSL a gang?" He says, "Yes, ma'am." He takes a plea deal. Boom. He leaves jail. Once again, me personally, I feel like Gunna shouldn't even have been arrested. The reason why he was arrested is because he got pulled over with Young Thug, and there was guns and drugs inside of the car.
So Gunner was simply an artist under the label, really.
He was simply an artist on the label, and why he got pulled into it is because one day he get pulled over with Young Thug, and there was guns and drugs inside of the car.
Okay.
Don't know what they were doing with the gun or the drugs, but they were pulled over.
Well,
And
okay. So I don't want to make this seem like it's a normal everyday thing, but you've
yeah,
been to college, you've been around a person. I mean, you spend some time on this earth, and there's a lot of times there's, to quantify the gun, somebody could feel unsafe. There's a lot of reasons to have a gun. I mean, for anybody, not necessarily. It doesn't mean that you intend to do bad with it, right?
right,
It could just be something to make you feel safe, right?
right.
It could be a scenario where, oh, I'm leaving my house. I feel better if my firearm was with me, because if you're leaving the firearm in an empty house, you could come home and find the house ransacked and your gun gone. It's the same reason why you wear cash and jewelry, right? It's a valuable item. I mean, there's a lot of reasons to have it. Okay, that's one thing. Okay,
Yeah,
some of those reasons could be bad, but that's one thing. So that's the gun. Drugs. Obviously, if you
they like to
recreationally
get high.
participate in drugs, then you're gonna have some drugs. Okay.
Yep, this is young stoner life we talking about.
There we go. I mean, so yeah. Not that it should happen, but it's not an abnormal thing.
Not an abnormal thing, but this was a part of the RICO charge.
Got it.
And pretty much Gunner was like, I guess he said that the guns and the drugs wasn't his. Where it was like, of course,
Whose car was it?
They blamed it on somebody else. But like, this goes into deeper, right? Because this is at the beginning of the RICO case, right? Pretty much like, I don't want to fast forward too much. I can go like chronological. Pretty much like Gunner gets out, right? Everybody is calling him a snitch because he takes a plea deal. Gunner kind of drowns out the noise. Gunner actually didn't even recognize, didn't even talk about none of this. People called him a snitch. There's even like video of people walking up calling him a snitch while he's out in public. There was videos where there's playing Gunna's music in Atlanta clubs and people just stop, you know what I'm saying, stop dancing because his
Wow.
music was playing. But Gunna put out a #1 hit, you know what I'm saying, after, you know what I'm saying, after taking this plea deal. Gunna's actually like star kind of rose. Like even though like he was like a he was already an up and coming rapper, and I'm not gonna lie, he's actually a very, very good rapper. He had some hits. His star kind of rose after this situation. He drowned out the noise. I'm just gonna put my all in the music. And he actually came back and did a body transformation. He came out, started working out, got really, really in shape. You know what I'm saying?
So
Just
Gunner left prison fitter.
he left fitter, left with a hit. He still signed a YSL. And one of the things, like, we're gonna get to it, but Young Thug tried to sabotage his album.
Hmm.
Like, he still signed to Young Thug's record label, right?
Okay.
But Young Thug is salty because he got out, and he's salty because, this is also from one of the prison leaks because he has a whole bunch of leaked phone calls, and one of the leaked phone calls, he says that he was talking to another big Atlanta artist named 21 Savage
Oh, now this
on
is
a
now this is
recorded.
now this is where we're getting into where you said about this is the stuff. This is what Young Thug has done to divide Atlanta.
This is what he's done to Divide
These phone
Atlanta.
calls.
But this
Okay.
is, I'm telling you what he was doing. We haven't even got to the leak phone calls yet. But
Oh, okay.
during this time, he's on a phone call with an artist named 21 Savage. 21 Savage is even on the phone telling him, like, hey, he didn't really take that plea to really hurt you, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, his image is messed up, but he didn't really do nothing wrong. This is what 21 Savage is telling him over the phone. And Young Thug can't just get over the fact like, oh, he gonna tell him that YSL is a gang, and he get up there taking a plea, and pretty much he tried to get 21 Savage to get on his album, where Young Thug released the album the same day Gunna released the album,
Okay.
to try to like ruin his street cred, pretty much.
Oh,
Whereas
okay.
like Gunna is not a out of street artist like that, so it doesn't really matter.
Okay.
Like people don't realize like rap, it like, even though people make a strong correlation to rap and street life, it really doesn't mix. Like you're a rapper, like, you know what I'm saying, like street people, like, you just a rapper, like you're just like an actor, you know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying. To me, like, I don't even look at you as no person like that. So Young Thug is thinking that he can release this album and it kind of slowed down Gunna's progression, which it didn't. Gunna ended up having a #1 album, #1 record. He out of here. You know what I'm saying? So Young Thug, I think he spends probably like another couple months in jail, right?
Okay.
And what ends up happening is he takes the same plea that Gunna took.
Ah.
Takes the same exact plea, but the only thing, his plea deal came, what he got free, but he ended up getting 15 years of probation, which everybody thought that was dumb, because it was like, what a part of his probation is that he can't even be in Atlanta.
So
Hmm.
Gunner didn't get the same probation?
No, because remember, Gunna was just like, it was just him in the car. Young Thug is attached to a murder and a whole bunch of other stuff. So yeah, Gunna didn't get no probation. Gunna just free and clear. Young Thug needed probation. Then he got 15 years of it. He gets the 15 years of probation, and different from Gunna, Young Thug comes out overweight, and he's standing on street business. Now, with him standing on street business, right? Now he's saying that Gunna is a snitch. I'm not cool with Gunna. Um, and it was a whole bunch of other situations. Like there was another rapper by the name of Young Scooter that got killed. He had spoke against the Atlanta Police Department, which was very, very dumb. He shouldn't even. I understand like Young Scooter was like a really prominent figure, I guess, in
Young
Atlanta.
Scooter is what he went
His
by.
name was Young Scooter. Yep.
Wow, they're just attaching Young to anything.
Yeah. Oh man, it's a whole bunch of young dudes out here. But yeah, Young Scooter was actually really respected though. A lot of people love Young Scooter. I like Young Scooter. So when he died, it was like, dang, Young Scooter died. But when Scooter died, like pretty much it was like something where it's crazy how he died. I think he died like running from the police. and like he got caught on a fence and
Oh, I
punctured.
heard about that. Yeah, he bled
Yeah,
out in the fence.
he bled out on the fence, and pretty much Young Thug was like, "The police department killed Young Scooter." This is what he tweeted out. So I think like this is just my opinion. I feel like Young Thug kind of like pretty much the Atlanta Police Department. They wanted Young Thug to go to jail. Young Thug got these connections where he got off. And even though you got off, that don't mean that people wanted you to get off. You know what I'm saying? You coming back, you standing on street business, you try like a high profile death happens, you blame it on us. You know what I'm saying? And then you keep pushing this street narrative, right? Like you street. Now we get into the juicy part, which has happened this weekend. Pretty much Young Thug's phone recordings that he had in jail and his interrogation video leaked. The interrogation video leaked first. Now it's the most damaging one. Because in the interrogation video, he tells the cops, "Hey, I'm going to tell you everything. Just don't tell the world about this." This is what he says in the interrogation room. They gave him food. He got mad because they gave him a sandwich with mayonnaise on it. It was just crazy watching it. He talked about a murder that one of his homeboys did, and his homeboy got 10 years for that murder. Well, it wasn't a murder, no, it was a shooting. The guy
Okay.
shot into Lil Wayne's tour bus, and the guy got like 10 years for it. The guy came back out of jail during this period, but Young Thug talked about it in the interrogation video. Like, talking about all types of stuff. And then the phone calls were even worse because he's talking about everybody in there. He talks about Gucci Man.
And
Like,
so who's he
Gucci Man,
call? Who's he on the phone with on these calls?
several people. The one where I was telling you where he was on the phone with 21 Savage. He's telling 21 Savage to hop on this album to kind of slow down Gunna's progression, pretty much. And 21 Savage is kind of telling him, like, "Hey, I don't think Shawty, you shouldn't even do that. Like, really, you should try to renegotiate Shawty contract and try to get more out of him or something." That's what 21 Savage is saying. But it's like, it just showed that it was like, dang, you hating on him? You know what I'm saying? Just because he got out before you? Because that's pretty much what
So
happened.
these phone calls are essentially more gossipy than anything else.
It was gossip phone calls. He was talking to his girlfriend, and he was talking about other artists. Like he was talking about there's another artist named Lil Baby. Lil Baby is like pretty much like they all
How's
homies,
baby
right?
spelled? Is there an H in there anywhere?
No, it's no.
Okay, making sure.
Yeah, it's just like just like we saying this baby. It's Lil Lil
LIL
Baby.
apostrophe baby.
Baby. Lil Baby is another reputable street guy that Young Thug actually helped get out the streets and become this big rapper that he is. Actually, Gunna, the Gunner, the guy we're talking about, helped
Yeah.
Lil Baby write his rhymes at the beginning of his career, and Lil Baby came big. And now, like, pretty much they got Young Thug on a recorded line talking about his business dealings. Pretty much like
So he didn't disclose any sensitive information. Like in essence, he didn't provide any new information to anybody. He just talked
didn't-
shit.
he was talking shit. And
Okay.
it was coming like it was just like it was like why like it was also like why are you talking to people about people like that? He talked about Gucci Man. He talked bad about Gucci Man, who Gucci Man was the first person to put him on. You know what I'm saying? And he talked about, oh man, Gucci had me in a bad contract. And then he was saying that Gucci Man, when he came out of jail, he came back soft. Like he wasn't like, you know what I'm saying, a real guy no more. He came back acting soft. Like pretty
And these
much
are all the
like,
people that he's gonna have to get back in touch with in order to get back in.
yeah, like all that type of stuff. Like people that you're gonna come in contact with.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So
Like
he didn't come out with any earth shattering revelations. He just showed people what he thought.
he showed people what he really thought.
Okay.
And he showed people that like a lot of people are like, dang, he's actually really manipulative. Because it's like
He's a
one,
record producer. Come on.
Huh?
It's part and parcel of the gig.
yeah.
Right?
Like with it all being said and done, right? I'll be I'm not I think people will still listen to him and like kind of just look past that. But it'll be interesting to see because right now a lot of the Atlanta people, because there are other Atlanta rappers that like had their own own separate court cases where they didn't even like. Okay, there's a rapper named Rollo, Rallo, Rollo.
Okay.
Rollo is like a very funny character to me. Like I like Rollo.
Where's he from?
He's from Atlanta.
Okay, so this isn't Rollo the pimp.
No, it's not Rollo the pimp.
Okay,
This is just
somebody else.
Rollo.
Okay, just Rollo. Okay.
Yeah, Rollo, like Rollo and Young Thug used to beef as kids. They talk about it. They said that they used to shoot at each other in the streets
Okay.
when they were younger. So they became friends as they became rappers, right?
Okay.
Rollo had a case that he caught, right? Rollo had a case where he was transporting weed from Los Angeles to Atlanta on private planes,
Oh.
and he got caught pretty much. They caught him.
Okay.
And when they caught him, he lied to the federal agents in the interrogation videos.
Okay.
And pretty much like he got time. He did like probably 3-4 years. Got out and still doing the same thing. Still selling weed. But everybody in Atlanta called him a snitch because of that. Because he got and lied to the federal police department. And he kind of got ostracized. A lot of people don't rock with Rollo no more.
Okay.
And like that was a part of the Young Thug thing. Young Thug told Young Scooter that Rollo was a snitch. And Young Scooter stopped messing with Rollo. And that made Rollo mad. Rollo actually brought that up in this recent whole development. Rollo has been very, very, very vocal in this whole situation because it was like, nah, if I was a snitch and y'all did what y'all did to me, do it to him. Keep the same energy. That's pretty much what Rollo's saying.
Okay.
Like keep that same energy. Don't we not picking and choosing here. Because he really snitched. I told a lie to the feds, even though he shouldn't be telling us that.
See, that,
Like
this
insane when you really think about it.
This is what gets me.
This is really happening.
So this is what gets me. So okay. So number one. Okay. Let's clarify some stuff. Okay. Let's talk about the players in this little drama. Young Thug. How old is Young Thug?
Young Thug probably got to be like 36, 35.
So he's more like middle-aged Thug.
He's middle-aged Thug.
Okay. So he's not a tremendously young man, but in today's
he can be Young Thug for the rest of his life.
Yeah, but I mean, in terms of age, he's younger because a lot of guys rolling around me like, because we're gonna tie this into content creation. For as far as we see content creators, he's old. Okay, because a lot of these content creators rolling around nowadays are very young, right?
Yeah, he's rappers that's coming out that's way younger than him.
Okay, 16, so he's an older 17. Content creator.
Yeah,
and, rappers nowadays, they rely on this digital presence as much as anybody else does, right?
You're right.
So they're as much a content creator as, let's say, a food blogger like Pinch of Yum is, believe it or not.
True.
Okay, so let's talk about that. So he's in his mid to late 30s, right? How about Rollo? How old's that guy?
Rollo is around the same age.
About the same age.
Yeah, Rollo might be a little bit younger.
A bit younger.
Rollo is a person where you'll be surprised how young he is.
How about Gunner?
Because he's actually he's like a leader, like in his hood. Okay. Rollo is known for like.
Wait, who's 30?
Rollo is 30.
Rollo's
30? Yeah, Rollo is like
34.
Young Thug's 34. Rollo's 30. How about Gunner?
Gunner is probably younger than all of them. Probably like 33.
32.
32?
Okay, so these guys are younger. These are the mid 30 groups. Okay.
Mid 30 groups.
Okay. So they're old enough that they shouldn't be that stupid about. I mean, like, if you're going to lie to the feds about something and you've lied to them and you've gotten away with it, you really shouldn't disclose that you've lied to them.
Rollo is a very interesting character. Rollo is a known heroin dealer, and he has several interviews talking about him selling heroin.
Yeah.
He even said that he made $20 million selling heroin.
Yeah. People
people
giving interviews or just, doing like expositionary, like solo videos. Like, you see people like getting online and like venting on a video. I've seen people get on those things and vent about stuff they shouldn't be venting about.
Man.
Right, disclosing all sorts of, because some things, you know, they don't have what's the word I'm looking for? Statutes of limitation. Some things have
Yeah.
statute. I mean, some things you can talk about because the time within which they could have charged you with it has passed, and you can talk about stuff like that. It may not be a good idea, but you can, right, without
Right.
a fear of like your door getting busted down. But
Right.
certain things don't, like murder doesn't.
You're right.
Okay. It sounds like the thing he was busted with bringing weed on a private jet. I think the time in which he did that probably wasn't that long ago, so he probably shouldn't be talking about that yet.
He doesn't really talk about that. Like the whole heroin dealing thing, it's one of the things like I guess he could because he's not gonna call it heroin. You know what they call it?
Oh,
They call
is he giving it names? He's giving
yeah, it's
code names.
called dog food.
Okay, okay. At least they're
So
being
he
okay.
sold dog
So
food.
he's got code going on. That's okay. I
Yeah,
respect that. Okay, he's got some
yeah.
code, so he doesn't have to.
Like, see what I just did? They'll say I'm snitching. I don't care though.
Oh, everybody knows. It's like when a creator on YouTube calls. We're gonna skate around it. The recent pandemic. When they call
Oh,
it the recent pandemic, or they call it the coof, or they call it the C9, because you can't say the full word on YouTube,
yep.
otherwise you get demonetized.
Or you call a shot the jab.
There we go. So yeah.
Yep.
So okay. So these guys are not kids. They're old enough. They should know better about this kind of. But here's the funny
They
thing about.
old with kids. Young Thug got like 10
I
kids.
believe that. So here's the thing. So why do they do this kind of stuff? I mean, like, why is it that they're engaged in this? I mean, well, actually, here's the funny part. Do you think this is gonna, in the long run, will this hurt him or help him?
Oh no, it definitely hurt him. Like one of the things with Young Thug, like I will because one of the things like I love Young Thug's business acumen. I can't take that away. That's one thing I like more than anything.
Okay.
Young Thug having a label with successful artists under it and how he did it. I love how he did it. He just released a clothing line called Spider, which was actually going crazy while
How's
he
that
was in
spelled?
jail. SP5DER. So instead of an I, it's a five.
Okay. Certain things I can get, like I can see threes being used instead of e's. Why a five instead of a
I don't know. I mean, it might also be like it might be without the five. I gotta look at it on Instagram, but like
spider?
the hoodies because his signature piece is a hoodie.
Okay.
I see a lot of people wear that hoodie. That is a very popular hoodie, and he's selling them for $200. He came out with a he had a jean jacket before he went to jail. He had a very popular jean jacket where it had spider webs on the side of the jacket, and I remember he was selling the jacket for $2,000. Somebody bought the jacket for $2,000 and sold it for 10 in less than an hour. Like it was something crazy like that. Like he was going crazy on the fashion tip. So he came back where it's like, oh dang, Spider is going crazy. It's actually going crazier than his music at this point in time. He
Okay.
just started getting it back into doing shows. So this came out now. It's kind of going to be interesting because it's like, are people going to stop wearing the clothing? Are people going to start? You know what I'm saying? That's a $200 hoodie. Like I can only imagine if I bought this hoodie before these whole allegations came out. Am I not going to wear the hoodie now? You know what I'm saying? Like, are people like I can see people stop listening to the music. I get it because like Young Thug, like I don't listen to Young Thug like that. I've never listened to a whole Young Thug album.
Well, let's talk about the music. Okay, so
Oh
let's
no, the
talk about
first
how
one I
these
did.
guys. Let's talk about how these guys make money. Okay, so
Uh,
he's got merch.
got merch.
Okay, so that's the thing. A lot of times people don't break down how rappers and or labels profit.
Right.
Right, like we know how, like a good example. We've talked extensively about in Logan Paul's vlogging days. We
The
talked
merch
about
was
where he
everything.
makes his money. Right, we talk about the views he gets from YouTube. The YouTube views pay him a significant number. Okay.
Right.
Then we talked about how much his merch sales delivered to him. Right.
Right.
Then we talked about, the dude's got sponsors.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, sponsors, right? And the side of him that people don't know much about is the fact that he was at some point he had a very large Facebook following, and they had him speaking. They had him speaking at branding conventions and events for marketing firms. He
Right.
talked about presence building. I mean, like he's not just some clown with a vlog. At that time he was already being run professionally, and he has professional representation. His content was being basically created by a committee for him, so
Right.
that they would workshop what would succeed and what would get the most views, and he would execute on the plans. Right, the dude,
Right.
the guy can follow directions. Right, he knows what it takes. Right, and every move he makes is calculated. Okay, then you get now let's take a look at a character like Young Thug. Being like, what's he got? He's got a record label.
Got a record label.
Got a record label. So he profits from the release of his own music, and he profits from the music that he releases for other artists.
Right.
Okay. Does concert tours, I'm pretty sure.
Yep.
Okay. Now, of course, that the profit there varies. Some of these things are sponsored. Some of these things, I mean, depends on the venue. He could get a percentage of gate. Of course, there's merch. So basically, there's the concerts.
I think if I had to guess, I think Young Thug, before he went to jail, probably was making $250,000 per show. Probably more.
Okay. Now, how much of that is shared out? Now he's under his own label, so he's pretty much, that's good.
He probably getting the most out of it. Like, I can see him taking 150 out of the 250.
Wait,
I can see
wait. So
that.
is 250? So are these contracts? Is he producing these, or are these being produced with him as the artist?
Just him as the artist. Like, I'm thinking about festival shows,
Okay,
regular
okay.
bookings and stuff like that.
Now, of course. So how much of that is going towards his team?
That's what I'm saying. I think if I was Young Thug and I was to get 250,000 per show, I think even with taxes, I would probably walk away with 150 to 100. Everything else is expenses.
Okay, so
And expenses are taxes, manager, crew, yeah, all
okay,
that.
okay. That's who he's walking away with. Okay, that's good. Okay, so what else has he got going on? So there's his merch. Does it his now? Do you think he makes money from his online presence?
Possibly. Like he is signed to a record label, so like I'm pretty sure they
Wait, he
have
signed.
some.
I thought he has his own label.
He has his own label, but they have little sub labels that they
Okay.
give him,
So
where
I'm
he's
talking
able to
about,
sign artists to the larger label.
because I'm talking about like his social media. Does his social media profit him?
Possibly, I can't like Young Thug, like I can't talk about all the businesses. I really just think about like the artists that he signed, because there were a couple, like besides Gunna, there was a couple other little ones that were buzzing. Where like the RICO charge kind of derailed a lot of this.
Mm-hmm.
If he didn't have the RICO charge, he'll probably be way bigger than he was. Because like before the RICO charge, Young Thug had finally entered into mainstream success. Young Thug, I'm not gonna say he was underground. Young Thug like had like success, but it wasn't on a large scale.
Okay.
Before the RICO charge, he finally had his first number one album. Finally had his first number one hit. You know what I'm saying? And then then he got Gunna, who was up under him, doing the same type of numbers. So it was like he got him and Gunna both doing the same numbers. So that's when, and then the RICO charge came and stopped all that.
So here's the thing. See, this is what I want to point out. See, Young Thug as a creator, right? I mean, the way it sounds, nothing that he does is, well, except for maybe the music. Well, he doesn't have a lot of residual income in this.
Not really. I look at like it's just one of them things. Like when I look at success from a fashion standpoint, if I can see it, I know it's successful. Like I know it's doing numbers. Like
But remember,
Young Thugs, huh?
even when something's doing numbers, so let's look at the longevity of what
Yeah,
he's built, right? Okay. So obviously, if you're selling hoodies and jackets for between $200 and $2,000, so hoodies at 200, jackets at 2,000 plus, right?
yeah,
These aren't items that you can flood the market with and expect to be able to keep selling, right? These are somewhat limited to a degree.
Luxury items.
They're luxurious. I mean, like, they got to be quality. I hope.
yeah. They were. I mean, it's a hoodie.
I mean, but I've
It's
seen
a
some,
quality hoodie because I've seen people wear them. I never bought a spider.
yeah, I've seen some
I
shitty
just
ones.
me personally. I'm not gonna buy a spider hoodie.
Okay, but I mean, it's one of those things where you probably don't want to buy something that's just on every street corner, right?
It's not. I'm not gonna say it's on every street corner, but like it's a hot item. It's like Fear of God.
Exactly, and that's the point. Fear of God, the higher end stuff. There's not a lot of it. I mean, the stuff that's seasonal,
Yeah.
the stuff that's really fashion, is seasonal and it's limited. It's limited pieces in a season, right?
Yeah,
So when you
but
buy it, you're one of an exclusive group of people who are going to have it.
right. But I see where you're going because it's like okay, like the hoodie, like say like the hoodie is like him selling essentials. Like like that's why I'm saying like just as much as I see the essentials hoodies, I see the spider hoodies. That's why I'm like he's making some type of money.
Okay, I get that, but okay, but what I'm saying is this: that doesn't come with being like a fashion house can fail at any time.
True.
Right? That's the thing. Even if you're hot, see, fashion especially, you could be the hot thing this year. Next year, you could be gone.
He might be gone
Okay.
after this.
So
After this
what I'm
situation.
trying to point out is from a business perspective, right?
Mm.
He's got a bunch of plates that he's got spinning that have to be constantly spun. Right? When we say that, like, it's like the juggler, you have the sticks with you
Yep.
get a plate spinning on it. And then once you get a plate spinning, then you get another plate spinning. And we're talking about, so having multiple plates spinning, you can do it because you just got to come back and tap a little bit to keep momentum going. But his plates seem like, not every business can be a spinning plate. Not everything keeps going with just a little tap. Right?
No.
Fashion is one of those
Involved
things
in all
where
of it.
it could just fall. I mean, like, fashion, it's fickle. Right?
True.
And through no fault of your own, your brand could just not connect anymore. I mean, like, styles could change, people could change. And so, okay, so that's something that he's got going that's not going to keep going for him easily, right?
No.
The music.
Like the place will probably fell.
Yeah, the music. The music, I mean, yes, there's residuals in that, right? But you only really the only people making money on residuals as artists are bigger ones. Okay.
True.
They get a certain fractional percentage on airplay, right? But it's tiny. It's like, and I forget how many percent of a penny it is per play, right?
Yeah.
It's not a lot. So you have to be in heavy rotate. I mean, you got to be a bigger artist with a lot of songs out to make money.
Young
from that.
Young Thug is the one of the different artists in this generation though. Young Thug took quantity over quality point. Like Young Thug has a lot of music out.
Okay.
A lot of the most artists have out. Like he probably has more music out than Michael Jackson.
Question
Not
though.
saying that he's as
Okay.
successful as him.
So
I'm just saying the amount of content.
He's got a lot of quantity out, but where's it being played? I mean, like, is it being played in? Is it being played in ways that he can benefit from it being played? So in other words, like, let's take another artist with a shit ton of music, like who's got just. Who's like just a machine when it, like, what's her face? Taylor Swift is just a machine when it comes to releases of albums. She's gonna be like, she'll have like so much shit out at the same time. It's amazing, right? And she took full ownership of her
her catalog.
catalog now. So she's kicking. I mean, like, even before that, when she didn't have full ownership, she fought that by re-releasing all the songs. So she is credited as the writer. She does own them in that sense, but those versions created with her old label, they profit when it's played too, right? So she wanted to give the shaft to the old label because I guess they ended things badly. So to combat them, she re-recorded everything, and basically instructed all the outlets to play only her new stuff. Don't play her old stuff. It's the same stuff, right? The same song is now released as her version. There's a thing called Taylor's version, right? So that's how she boxed out her old label. They still profit when it's played, when their version's played, but when her new version is played, they don't. She had enough money to do all this, right? So now talking Taylor Swift, her music gets played commercially on tons of radio stations, right? And that's why she profits from it constantly. She doesn't necessarily have to profit from selling it. She profits from all the airplay that it gets, kind of like forever. I mean, like especially now. I mean, like, and now we're going to compare her because she's a musical artist. She's not a rapper. I mean, but rappers are musical artists, right? So we're going to take a look at her playbook of how she's running her stuff versus these other guys, right? She uses her social media very, very, she's very intentional about her social media. Every time she puts something out, her music sees a surge in play. Right? So, when she releases albums, it comes out in social first. And like, actually, so she got engaged over the past week. And dude, I could not. Yeah, she
got engaged to Travis Kelce.
She did. Oh, you didn't know? Yeah, she
no.
got engaged to Travis Kelce, and she posted it on her Instagram. At the same time, I mean, right before that, she posted the release date of her new album, and it coincided pretty much with her engagement almost. And
that's crazy.
And which also coincided with her appearance on the Kelce Brothers podcast. I mean, like, they're very, very intentional about how they do everything. Okay.
We about to go do a podcast about the wedding.
The workshop. Okay, so we're gonna. So we need you're gonna come on, and she doesn't always come onto their pod. I mean, that's funny, it's her boyfriend now. Her boyfriend now it's her fiance, and she doesn't. She keeps her presence valuable by not being a fly on the wall on their podcast.
Well,
so if she was always around, it wouldn't be a big deal, right? Now she's going to be on the podcast and is an official company. It's a big deal, right? She teases her album releases, so she'll put out a post on Instagram about her album release at a specific time. It denotes it has meaning. Everything about what she does has meaning, right? So she's using her social media to maximize her airplay. Okay, and she's using her. I mean, it all works together. She's very intentional about it, and that's why she's so big, right? She'll never ever at this point in time. She could probably stop producing music, and what she's done will continue to pay her. She could probably put out social media content twice a week, and she'll surge. She doesn't have to do it every day, because remember, you have a very frequent posting schedule when you're young in social media. Once you build up that audience, then you start pulling back to make what you do put up more valuable. Right? You withhold a little bit, right? To make them want it more. In the beginning, you have to put out tons and tons of content in order for the platforms to recommend you to build an audience.
True.
Okay? Once you built that audience, it's that spinning plate thing. In the beginning, you got to really give it a push to get momentum going. Once the momentum's going, which in the case of social media is a following of a specific size, it just takes a little tap now and then. Okay, so she leaves them eager, wanting more, right? And everything she does in her life is something that she can market. Okay, that's where I'm thinking these guys we're talking about today are missing the boat. All this stuff could be a positive thing for them because, okay, so this is why it could be positive. If they were releasing music that transcended genres, like, for example, Taylor Swift, before being what she is now, what was she?
You mean a pop star?
She's a pop star now, right? What was she
Yeah.
before?
What, a country star?
Yeah.
Oh,
music
you looked
was-
at Taylor Swift as a country star?
Her music was strictly country.
Oh, I don't know, man. I came into Taylor Swift when she was like, "Shake it off,
No,
shake it off,
no. She'd already successfully made the. Do that again, Raymond.
shake it off." That's when I started watching Taylor Swift.
God, okay. So Raymond is a Swiftie. Okay, so
I'm not a Swiftie, but I remember that era. That era was
yeah.
man.
No,
Taylor Swift was the joy.
That's when she was already a pop star. Remember, she began at first as a country star, and it kind of left some people in the country world a little bit, as to take your word,
because they know where it was going.
A little bit salty. And the country world was a little bit miffed that she made the move, right? But she made the move because it made financial sense, and also maybe as an artist, she wanted to do that. She wanted a bigger audience. She wanted a larger audience. She wanted to expand beyond the borders of country, right?
Yep, and she expanded.
She did.
She definitely expanded.
I mean,
I don't even think expanded is the word.
She's like the shadow government now, basically. I mean,
right. That's crazy how Taylor Swift is.
We should be talking Taylor Swift conspiracy theories instead of Bigfoot. But anyway,
there are Taylor Swift conspiracy theories. They say she's a witch. There's all types of stuff they say about Taylor Swift.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard stuff, but anyway, okay. So now Taylor Swift. Okay, this is what I'm saying. Okay, so if they tried to make their music more accessible, right? If they had a money, obviously they have a money focus. I mean, like, let's talk about that. Why do businesses make certain decisions? They make decisions because there's a money focus on what they do, right? There's a profit motive. Okay, so if you have a profit motive, you should be doing everything you can to maximize that profit. And a lot of times for certain kinds of brands, what brings them into true profitability, the hardcore within their markets see that as selling out. Right? So let's talk about selling out for a second. Okay, so Taylor Swift going from country to pop was seen as selling out. That's like, oh, she's cashing in. Like,
whatever.
Dude, that's a bigger audience. It's a bigger influence. I mean, like, it's more money. And
financially, it makes a huge a lot of sense because you're going into a larger market where you could sell more.
Yeah, and also maybe she likes making that kind of music better. Who knows?
Man, obviously she does.
Well, she's liking what is generating.
Okay. Yeah, exactly.
So there's that. So what else is selling out? So like and some artists could never stomach it, right? That's why they don't do it, right? The artists that can't stomach selling out are the ones who really didn't care about the money.
I got an excellent. Let's keep going on to this. I got an excellent question for y'all.
So let's talk about other people who sold out. Another great example of people who sold out. Mossimo.
Okay.
Right. Mossimo went from being boutique, high, like, couture, like high fashion, to being available where? Target.
In Target, yep. I only knew Mossimo from Target. Yeah, I never knew it as nothing else.
Before Target, Mossimo was like a boutique brand. You only had Mossimo boutiques. That's where you bought it. Limited numbers of them too. So they weren't like guest boutiques where, like, there's a shitload of them. Mossimo boutiques are a handful, so you only find them in places like Fashion Island, South Coast, even the more fancy malls is where you find a Mossimo boutique. In the beginning, there were very, very few of them. Then there became more and more, and once they reached a certain point, they went Target. And when they went Target, that's where the money really flowed in for them.
Mm-hmm.
Right? But that is selling out. Right? That's that selling out moment. Now, you're no longer fashion, you're Target. Right?
Yeah.
But that's the goal. I mean, like, because once you hit Target, suddenly you're nationwide, and you have that flood of Target shopper to just, it's like being a Walmart brand in a way, right?
Yeah.
It's like, but you're no longer high fashion.
Nope.
You can't be high fashion being Walmart or Target. It doesn't work that way.
I guess my question is, right, because it was funny because I was going to bring this up and organically going into it. Like, if you had the opportunity, like say in the podcast space, right? If you had the opportunity to sell out, but you have to do something that goes against what your morals, what you do it.
Wait. I mean, okay. So as a business person, okay, so there's very few things business wise that can go against quote unquote your. It's like when people say go against your morals, it's like, oh, to be successful you have to kill your dog. That's kind of a weird thing, but that wouldn't happen in business because it's unacceptable anyway. I mean, like, so what do you mean goes against your moral?
I'm just going. All right, instead of trying to be. So it's funny because it's like I rarely get into it. I didn't even get into it, but I rarely debate online. But it was the debate today, right?
Online?
So,
what do you mean online?
In the comment section.
Oh, you were freaking trolling.
No, not. I guess you could say I was trolling, but it was like so. Pretty much, right now, what's going on? You've heard of Shannon Sharp, right? Mm-hmm. And have you ever heard of Ray Lewis?
Well, let's for those who don't know who they are, let's talk about them. Who's Shannon Sharp?
Shannon Sharp is a football player that transitioned to becoming a media personality.
Okay.
Recently, he is a disgraced media personality because he was hit with sexual assault charges.
Okay.
And he had to pay his accuser undisclosed amount, which is $10 million.
It's settled.
He had to settle to give her $10 million. And he lost his job with Disney, where he was on ESPN.
Okay.
So,
and let's talk about the other character involved.
Ray Lewis. Have you ever heard of Ray Lewis?
I have, but let's talk about who he is.
Ray Lewis is a football player. One of the greatest football players ever. He was a linebacker. Ray Lewis played for the Baltimore Ravens, one of the scariest linebackers of all time. And after post football, Ray has always been like just this inspirational type figure, but I can't go into it because I don't want to talk negative about Ray. I like Ray.
Okay.
So Ray joined the Patrick Bet Davis podcast. For what reason, I don't really know, but he was on the Patrick Bet Davis podcast, right? So he said something about Shannon Sharp, and it's kind of going.
Does Ray Lewis's beliefs align with that? With what goes on that podcast?
Yeah, he's a conservative. Yeah.
Okay.
He aligns with Patrick. I can see him being on there, but I didn't watch the full podcast. Right.
Okay.
I only got this clip because pretty much the clip of what Ray Lewis said about Shannon Sharp went viral. Patrick Bet David asked Ray Lewis, "Did you ever expect Shannon Sharp to become what he became?" And Ray Lewis said yes. Right now, where it got caught, because he said he was already working on that while he was still like in the NFL almost. And I guess they were some type of close, right? So Ray Lewis pretty much was like, yeah, but I didn't expect him to switch up like that. So what he said was, he was like, pretty much like, when he knew Shannon Sharp, he didn't know him for being somebody who drank or smoked or did none of that stuff, right? Or even the whole, like, because, Shannon Sharp was very vocal about him dating young women. He was very vocal about that before the case. He said he didn't expect him to do none of that type of stuff. He didn't expect him to switch up. And I had to think about it. I'm like, oh, wow. They probably asked him to switch up because when you look at Shannon Sharp is the epitome of physical fitness. That's what you want to look like when you get older. When you get into your late 30s, 40s, and 50s, you want the Shannon Sharp body.
Okay.
But when you see him when he first came out, right? Like Shannon, I'm not going to talk about, like, Shannon Sharp is very energetic. He is very entertaining, right? But when he first came out, the clips that we were seeing him with, he was always talking about that hen dog, and he had a black and mild in his mouth. I don't know where physical fitness and black and miles and hen dog come from. I don't know where that come from. And that's what pretty much Ray Lewis was saying. Like, where did all that come from?
Hold on. Well, wait. Define these terms, because we want people to know
what a hen dog is. He had that Hennessy, man. He used to.
I know. Say it for the uninitiated.
He had a bottle of Hennessy. It's a liquor.
Okay.
Like, that's what I'm saying. You you don't associate an athlete like that with Hennessy, and Black and Miles is like a lower class cigar, a cigar that you get for $1.
Okay.
You don't associate that with no like any type of NFL player or post NFL player. So where did that come from? And that was like a very big clip. Quentin, have you seen that before?
No, I haven't.
You
Wait,
never seen
so
Shannon Sharp with the
Sounds out
hen
of
dog and the
no,
black and mild?
but it
Okay,
sounds way out of character.
so a Black and Mild would be the kind of cigar that you purchase to cut it open and put something else within it?
No. You don't do that. No, that's
No,
that's like a cigarillo.
Black and
No,
Mild is
Black
just
and Mild you
just a
smoke.
cigar you just smoke. That's an
Okay.
everyday, all day cigar. It's not something that's prestigious or anything like that.
Ain't
It's
straight,
regular.
like you ain't supposed to be smoking no Black and Milds, big dog. Not as no ex NFL player. And like
okay,
when
so
Ray
wait. So where does he come from? I mean, like, what's his back? Does it come from money or not? As a young
No.
man, was he well off?
No, that's what Ray Lewis said. What Ray Lewis said when he knew Shannon Sharp, he was against drinking. He was against smoking. Where did that come from?
Huh. Okay.
And that's where I was arguing with people because like people like pretty much Shannon's trying to play the victim. Oh, you kicking me while I'm down. And then when I saw a clip, I'm like, he ain't kicking you while you down. He just told you the truth. Where did that come from? Where did the Black and Mild Hen Dog come from? You know what I'm saying? Like he has a podcast called After Hours where sometimes he might drink. He has another podcast called Club Shay Shay where he takes drinks with his people. When I really thought about it, right, and I looked at it from Ray Lewis' perspective, because people was like, "Oh, Ray Lewis is hating." No, Ray Lewis was really just telling the truth.
Okay.
Where did that come from? You didn't never used to drink, my dude.
So
Where did that come from?
So you think it's a branding move?
I think it was one of them things like, "Hey, Shannon, we need you to be a little bit more edgy."
Oh, hey, I gotta ask you, Raymond. He did that live?
What?
The
Hen
smoke-
dog?
the-
Yeah, he did it on the show. At the hen dog. Hey, yo, I got this hen dog, man. I got this Black and Mild. And I was like, wait, like
He actually called out the Black and Mild. He said that.
he had it on the show. You can go and check it out.
Well, I know he's
telling you.
smoking, but did he actually identify it as a Black and Mild?
Yeah.
He said it out
man,
loud?
If you from the hood, you know what a Black and Mild look like. And then he had that
Well,
look.
no. My question is not okay. You know what it looks like, but
Oh, yeah.
he didn't say that. Did he identify it saying it's a Black and Mild? Did he say it out
Yeah.
loud?
Yeah.
I'm
It's my
sitting here
black.
I'm sitting with my Black and Mild. He actually okay. So if he's saying it out loud, so that's definitely something that's done as he's trying to shift things up. He's trying to. I mean, he's saying it out loud. Just said that he's basically overplaying that so that people can realize that that's what he's doing.
The Black and Mild and the hen dog ain't. I wasn't supposed to see that on a sports show.
Okay, but I
Like,
got this, Ray.
Huh?
What's with the do-rag? Did he come on with the
He
do-rag?
he used to wear the do rag too. He used to wear
That's
the
out of
do.
character. I never saw that out of him with the.
That's what I'm
right?
saying. That's what Ray Lewis was saying. That's why I was arguing with the people in the comments. I was like, wait a minute. I never thought about it like that. Because
It's a choice.
that was kind of when Shannon Sharp started doing that, that was kind of random to me. I'm like, where did this come from? But I wasn't thinking too deeply. I wasn't thinking too deeply into it. It was just happening. Because he not only did he do it on the show, he would do it on his live. He would talk to us on live on Instagram with the Black and Mild in his mouth, talking about he about to drink this hen dog, and he had the Scully on, looking like, you know what I'm saying, like looking like your uncle on the block. You know what I'm saying? Like, wait a minute. That's why we start calling him Unc.
He was Unc.
He was
So
Unc.
so this is a calculated move to build up.
I think it was a
to build up
calculated
to,
move.
I mean,
from
it's
us.
it's a move for an audience. I mean, okay. So let's talk. I mean, like these are why this could be a smart thing. It could be a bad thing. I mean, it depends, right? So this is why you bring up the question. So basically, going against what you believe in.
Going against what you believe, what
Okay.
you do, because
So-
I think that was pushed on him.
So let's
I don't
talk about
think he
that.
was really
So
doing
maybe so remember, it depends on how firmly you believe in something. Okay, here's something, right? If he's okay, so people who vehemently don't drink or smoke or do drugs, those are like I mean, what do they call them? They call them oh shoot, they call them straight edge. Okay, those who are like vehemently against. They're the guys who will never smoke, never do drugs. They treat their bodies like temples. They're super strict about it,
Yeah.
and they vocally talk about it in life, right? They call them straight edge. Okay. Before, in the old days, we call them teetotalers, right? So there's some people who don't drink a lot or smoke a lot, but they're not like completely against it. Like a good example, I collect liquor. I have a whole shit ton of it in this house, right? I mean, a lot of liquor, right? But I don't smoke. I don't drink very often, just because. Not because I'm against drinking. I own a bar and I drank every night, right? But I don't do it because I don't have the time to enjoy it, right? If I'm gonna consume what I got here, I want to enjoy it,
True.
right? Because I don't buy cheap stuff, so I need to have enough time. Because I like to smoke cigars when I drink. I don't drink without smoking, and
True.
and the cigars I smoke take hours to enjoy, so I need to set aside a couple 2 hours to smoke a cigar and drink some scotch or some bourbon. Depends on what I want to drink, right? But it's going to be 2 hours to smoke a cigar, and I don't have the time. So I have a whole lot of really good cigars and a lot of really top shelf liquor here that I don't consume. And I'm not against consuming it. I would consume it every day if I could break out the time, right? So I don't drink a lot. I don't smoke a lot, not because I'm against it, just because it doesn't fit in my schedule. Okay, it's not a lifestyle thing for me that I'm against it. Other people don't drink or smoke at all, but they're not against it. They can hang out with their friends who drink and smoke. Straight edge people can't. They will sit there and critique your lifestyle if you're drinking in front of them. It's like certain fitness people who can't be around people who eat junk food. Because they can be around them, but the entire time they're going to be telling you what you're putting in your body. No, there's no fun to be around, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So was he like that before? Or was he just an everyday regular guy?
That's what Ray Lewis was saying. He was like that before. It's like he's like, I'm seeing this straight edge person turning around burgundy, talking about I got my scotchy scotch. You know what I'm saying? Now that you're on TV, but when you wasn't on TV, you was straight edge. Where did that come from?
No, I mean, okay, so straight edge people, would he be the kind of person who's judgmental about you drinking and smoking? Because like,
Who, Ray Lewis?
okay,
or
like
Shannon Sharpe?
I'm talking about Shannon Sharpe. Was Shannon Sharpe the kind of person who'd be judgmental about it? See, that's the thing. If you're not judgmental about it, like I know people who don't drink and smoke, and they're perfectly fine around people who drink and smoke, and they won't say anything about it. In fact, they just think it's normal, right? There's guys I hang out in bars with all the time in the past that don't smoke, right? And I'll be freaking going through 5 packs a day around them, and they don't mind. They because they hang out in bars full of smoke. They themselves don't smoke, but they don't. It's fine with them to be smoked around. Like there's fit people. Like okay, let's talk like Jerome's fit, right?
Yeah.
But I can eat junk food around that guy all I want. He makes no judgments about people who don't respect their bodies, right? But so the question is Shannon Sharpe the kind of guy before, who is a respect your body guy? Basically, if you behave unhealthily around him, he can't help but critique you.
I see what you're saying, and like,
or is he a regular everyday guy who basically, because being fit and being like that can be kind of, it's taxing to be around people like that.
No, I get it, and that's why I'm saying I don't really know. I don't know because I don't know Shannon Sharpe. Like this is just something where I'm like,
I would assume he's a regular guy. The reason why I'm saying
but his image was nowhere near that. That's what I'm saying. His image was nowhere near that.
His image, like,
I understand that. See, but
now he's got a black and mild and
yeah. See, but that's the thing. See, when Raymond says go against your morals, right? See, a person, and this is the reason why I believe that this isn't going against his morals. This is what I think, okay? Because I know I know a number of professional athletes, former professional athletes, right? Even when they were playing, they spend a lot of time around that. I mean, like, they're always in clubs. The funny thing is that during the season, there's times where they'll be in that environment. They can't really enjoy themselves. They can't drink and do other stuff because they're going to be playing tomorrow, right? So they can't do it, but they're there anyway, right? Just hanging, right? When in the off season, they're enjoying themselves. They're drinking, they're smoking sometimes, right? They'll do it because it's just the environment they like to be in, right? So a person like that who will hang out in that environment, okay, I don't see that transition to be something that goes against their morals. Right?
I get what you're saying.
You've
Because I like
you've
the
got to be
only
a straight
thing.
edge guy for it to go against your morals.
I mean, then this is why I'm like, man, Ray Lewis should like respond and not back down. He should like give us more information because like just from the little bit he said, I got a different perspective because I was like, I never knew Shannon Sharp for drinking or smoking. It just really like I said, one day when he was on Fox Sports with Skip Bayless, he popped up with a bottle of Hennessy and a Black and Mild, and it was like, nigga, you drink like you drink and smoke Black and Mild? Like, where did that come from? And even when he was doing it on live, it was like kind of random. But then when you go and you meet people who've known you, like, where did that come from? I mean, like, and like to me, I just feel like he was like, somebody probably was like, "Hey, I need you to be a little bit more edgy." I
Yeah,
feel like
yeah,
that's what happened. Somebody pushed it on him. He was like, "Oh, I'm gonna be more edgy. I'm gonna go get the hen dog and I'm gonna get the black and mild." And he played into this character.
I get it.
Whereas,
See,
like,
and that's
to me,
that's where coming back to your original question about betraying your morals, going something
Yeah.
going. See, if I don't think he is, I think that he's the kind of guy who would be in an environment like that. I probably would say the great majority of successful athletes spend a lot of time in clubs.
yep,
Okay. And if you spend any time at all in clubs, I don't think that when you retire, somebody says, "Hey, I think we can lean into a broader audience if you were to drink this and smoke this on air." I don't think that compromises your morals. Because
I
it's not something that, see, compromising your morals is when you're actually something that you can't stand. See, the simple fact that you spend time in those environments means that you can stomach it. Right?
just the fact that he did it meant that he could stomach it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, okay, so let's talk about actually compromising morals. Okay.
Okay.
Let's see one. Okay. Here's he never did, but okay. So probably the most quote unquote godly guy in professional sports that I've ever encountered. Remember Tim Tebow?
Yeah.
Okay. Tim Tebow, he kind of faded out, right? The problem with him is one of the problems with that guy is he wasn't morally flexible at all. That dude was like, I mean, I was reading about him. I guess he's got some sort of Filipino connection. I forget how it goes. Wasn't he an orphan or something like that? He's got this. Oh, hold on, I gotta look, Quentin, because my screen is being recorded. Look up Tim Tebow. He's got some sort of weird ass. So Tim Tebow is this dude. He prays before everything. I mean, like, and he's not.
He was praying after touchdown.
It's not for show. That's the problem with this guy.
That was real. That was real.
See, a guy like that doesn't mean he's limited in his endorsement deals. He's limited in certain public appearances because he has such strong convictions. I mean, like, you really don't want to interview that guy for any public takes because you don't want to hear what he thinks about things. Yeah, you don't want to hear what he. I mean, like, he's too extreme. Right.
We got to talk about Jesus and what he did for me.
Now, if Tim Tebow was to suddenly transition from sports into being a caster, and then suddenly they have him posing with with
a black amount of hen
dogs, and he's got a bottle of Hennessy. That's
a compromise, right?
That's compromise. Now that's a compromised situation. Another guy who's compromised. There's a guy named Neil McDonough. Neil McDonough's an actor. He's never gotten really big. He's done a lot of stuff. You'll recognize him when you see him. You will recognize him when you see him. Neil McDonough. They don't cast him in a lot of different things because he refuses to have intimate scenes with other actors. He will not kiss any woman on screen because he feels he's betraying his wife. He said that. He's a very strong Catholic. And he's conservative too. He's a conservative, strong Catholic, and he said that he's given interviews about his screen options being limited because he can't do love scenes at all. Period. None.
Yeah.
He can be married in a movie, or a TV show. He can be married. He just can't share any intimate scenes. He won't even kiss them on the lips. Period. Like a bye, honey. He won't do that.
Nope.
Because he says he feels like he's betraying his wife. And the funny thing is, I might be getting this wrong. His wife feels differently. His wife says, I really don't mind if he did it. It's part of his job, but that's how he feels, and that's how it's going to be. So his wife would give him a pass, but he still feels like he'd be betraying her. See, that guy has such a strong belief that if suddenly you saw him in like, like on a YouTube video, I mean, he's got a YouTube channel, and he's got dancers in the background, chicks sitting on his lap, and he breaks out the rock and miles. That dude's compromise. That's a compromise, right? Right. But yeah, I mean, but I don't think that this situation is a compromise. Right.
I'm sorry. I just can't get over Tim Tebow with a Scully, the hen dog, and the black and mild.
Picture that?
I can't get that out of my head. Praise Jesus. Let me drink this hen dog.
Yeah. or on the flip side of that, like Colin Kaepernick saluting the flag, standing up and saluting.
Man,
these are people with real convictions, right?
Yeah.
When you have real convictions, then there are compromises. But when you're that's the cool thing about being an everyday regular person. Everyday regular people don't really have those kinds of convictions. Anybody who usually when you have convictions that strong, you've got some sort of power, right?
Yeah.
You can call the shots.
Yeah.
Okay. And the funny thing is most people with convictions that strong, their convictions don't get that strong until they have the ability to call the shots, because they had to get long on the way up, right? And then now that you can't shake them, now they can come out with their demands, right?
Right.
But that's the thing. See, the people we've been talking about have talents. See, people in a corporate setting, people in the vlogging setting. I mean, are vloggers talented? Not really. They just maybe they can follow a formula, but can most of them sing or act or throw a football a certain distance? Or no, they have no talent. No. So those people typically can't afford to be morally stringent, right?
True.
But folks with talent, like Tebow, I mean, that guy can be whatever straight edge dude he wants to be because he was good at what he did. I mean, he has a talent in a sport that not many people do.
Yeah.
Right.
Tim Tebow was the man when he was in college.
He was.
And he had a wave in the professional world. Mm-hmm. They don't want to talk about that one. But it was just when he finally got to the professional world, they not trying to see you pray after each and every touchdown.
Like Tiger
Woods.
They wasn't
trying to see that.
Like Tiger Woods is another guy who has a tremendous amount of talent in his sport, and he can be whatever he wanted to be, right? He didn't necessarily have. See, he didn't have a. If Tiger Woods had wanted to be strict about something, he could have, right? He could have done the whole like super Christian thing if he wanted to with his talent. But Tiger Woods is an everyday guy, right? In terms of what he believes or doesn't believe. He just was a regular everyday guy. He didn't sit very far on the right or left. He didn't have an extreme worldview, right?
True.
And of course, it came out that he was just like everybody else when it turned out that he had a thing for hoes.
Yep, he had them hoes.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of people have a thing for hoes. Shannon Sharp had a thing for hoes.
Who?
You know what I'm saying? That girl was making him pay $25,000 per cheat.
Wait, who had a thing for hoes?
Shannon Sharp.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry, I did miss. Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. I mean, like that's the beauty about, see, everyday people can't really fall off because they're not on pedestals, right? So if you have an everyday outlook, if you're a regular person, you can be caught in a scandal and kind of shrug it off, right? But if you're like, who's that televangelist who had to cry and claim he's only human? What's the dude? Remember he got caught with a prostitute. A lot of them do, but a lot of men of the cloth.
And there's so many of them that get caught with hoes.
Baker. Is it Tammy Faye Baker's husband? Remember Tammy Faye Baker, like the Bakers? Raymond, you don't know those people?
Nah.
Tammy Faye Baker.
I'm not really.
She wears way too much makeup. They were with the what was it? The 500 Club.
Yeah.
The 700.
700 Club, is that it? 700 Club?
Yeah, 700 club.
Yeah.
Oh,
So,
okay.
oh wait, so what's Baker's first name?
Mm-hmm.
The pastor. So yeah.
I've heard of this story. I know what you're talking
Yeah,
about.
dude, he had to go up there and like
Was it Eddie Lee?
What's that?
Was it Eddie Lee Baker?
No. Suddenly it was something with an R. Richard, Robert, something like that. Wrong.
Crazy.
I want to say it's an R, maybe wrong. Quentin, what are we getting?
Let me look it up. Hang on.
Yeah. Quentin is our, with his multiple screens, he's our online researcher.
He's our God.
Jim Baker, Jim and Tammy Faye. Jim Baker. So Jim Baker got up there and he cried on TV about his transgression. Right? See, those are the people, these are people with strong convictions, right? Mm-hmm. So, okay, so your question to us, would you do something that goes against your moral compass to achieve greater levels of fame or to achieve fame, period?
Right.
Is that your general question? See,
yeah.
Asking a guy like me, who's just a regular everyday guy, there's not a lot outside my, see, for me to feel uncomfortable doing it, right, it's probably going to be illegal. Right. I mean, I'm comfortable doing pretty much anything legal. I mean, let's draw some boundaries.
That's true. Smoking Black and Mouse and drinking Hennessy is not illegal.
So let's draw some boundaries. Okay. So so there is the thing. Okay. Okay. So let's go ahead and slap some labels on us. I'm straight. Raymond, I'm assuming you're straight, right?
Yes.
The jury's out in Quentin, though.
What?
The
jury.
We like teasing. We like teasing Quentin.
Screen froze.
We enjoy it. The screen froze. It's like his face isn't moving. The screen is frozen. Okay. So see, that goes beyond compromising. Like, I wouldn't do that. I mean, like, that's just not something that
yeah, I'm not gonna date a man for no success.
Yeah,
I get that. Yeah, okay. That's against my morals.
There you go. But okay, wearing a dress.
I'm not wearing a dress either.
You wouldn't do it for let's say that your star's on the rise. Let's say you're Harry Styles or somebody like Harry Styles. You're in his industry, and some numbers have come in indicating that you can safely escalate your numbers in a group of people that pay more without damaging your numbers in your segments that are currently paying you. You might diminish in a segment that doesn't really matter to you.
Right.
If you wore this. And so let's say it's like a Harry Styles thing where you got like, it's like, have you ever seen a kilt before? Like a Scottish outfit. So you got like the military top, like the Scottish thing. But let's say that this kilt is a little bit more fancy, so it's more dress-like.
Right.
So let's say, Raymond, okay, it's not Givenchy, okay? You're going to be wearing essentially a kilt, but it's going to be a tad more feminine, okay? But we're going to put you in a masculine environment and pose.
Right.
They're trying to pitch you so that we're trying to reach out to this group of people who we think are good for you. They're a solid consumer base that will increase your profitability. We might lose some people in this segment, which really aren't really your target anyway. They're not paying you anyway.
Right.
Okay. Would you, I mean, we're not asking you to to go ahead and put on some little black dress. They're asking you to do something like the Harry Styles move.
Armand, I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. I'm definitely not gonna compromise.
Okay, so
I've been in those situations before. That's why I'm like I could confidently tell you that I won't compromise and I won't think twice about doing it. Like I would go about my life.
Okay.
Like if I was in Shannon Sharp position, right, and I'm straight edge, and you came even if I wasn't, because I've smoked Black and Miles before and I've drunk in Hennessy.
Okay.
If you told me to hop on camera and do that, I would tell you no.
Really?
I would tell you. I would. Oh yeah, I'll definitely tell you no.
Okay.
I'm about to
so
drink
I mean, okay,
I'm not about to get on camera and do that.
Well, no. Okay. So okay.
Wild.
Good example. Another example. Okay. So, what's his face? Elon Musk. Elon Musk, a long time ago. I mean, like to us, remember to this modern world, a long time ago is 4 years ago. Right? Yeah. Elon Musk popped on the Joe Rogan podcast, right?
Oh, smoking weed.
Smoked weed. right?
Yeah.
On the, I mean, like, like oftentimes Rogan will take a, I mean, like, you can see it in those days, right? Rogan smokes cigars and weed, and he probably smokes cigarettes too, but
Yeah. Probably.
but you'll see it because on the wide shot that catches the whole table, you'll see the smoke wafting up from the ashtrays, and you'll see an exhalation of smoke off camera, right? Those guys try not to smoke on camera. Okay,
Yeah.
just so that they can get wider distribution of their podcast, right? Even if you smoke on camera, they'll still distribute it, but you'll get age restricted,
Right.
right? By not smoking on camera, you won't get age restricted. Okay, so they
Right.
can't have their cigars up to be seen. They can smoke the whole time, but you just can't see them actively doing it, right?
Right.
Elon Musk actually smoked it. He put it to his lips,
Yeah.
inhaled it,
I watched it. I remember that.
saw it, right?
That was wild.
Okay, now it was wild. It was crazy. It was out of character. I mean, like,
It was
we
very
know
out
we
of
know he's a
character.
tech bro. We know a lot of these tech bros do stuff like that. I mean, like, they go to the. I mean, like, I got a cousin who goes to Burning Man every year. He's also in, but it's more biotech. He's the kind of guy. He goes out there and they rent trailers there, and they're high end. And
Right.
when they go there, everybody's microdosing ketamine.
Yeah.
They're doing shit like
And
that.
like,
right?
and I can see Elon Musk microdosing ketamine.
Yeah, so they probably do it, but they never. But guys like that never talk about it.
Right.
Like Elon Musk being the head of Tesla and SpaceX and the Boring Company, everybody knows he's a tech bro. He probably microdoses ketamine and shrooms and smokes weed.
Yeah.
But he'll never ever talk about that lifestyle. Period. It'll be
No.
something that he'll leave ambiguous, and he'll never
Yep.
address questions about it. Okay.
There's somebody, as we're speaking about this, and as somebody is actually watching this in the future, Elon Musk is probably microdosing at this moment.
He is, yeah. but what's crazy is this. So you get this guy who, I mean, he probably does. It was unknown. Steps onto Rogan's podcast, and himself basically makes the request to smoke weed and have them filming him and broadcast him doing it. Basically, because Elon Musk is a geek.
Yeah.
And now he's on Rogan, and so you've seen Elon Musk. Joe Rogan is Joe Rogan is not only is an announcer for MMA, he himself participates in mixed martial arts,
Yeah.
and he lifts. He's a gym bro, right?
Mhm.
That dude. So now here's Elon Musk in front of probably one of his quote unquote heroes. If Elon Musk has a hero, it's probably Joe Rogan. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, now he's there in front of a guy he's always probably wanted to impress. And to me, I think he's smoking weed on camera more to impress Joe Rogan than anything else. He's showing he's edgy.
Yeah, I never thought about it like that.
showing
He
he's
probably
edgy.
did I'm trying to show you that I'm cool, Joe.
Yeah. Not only will I smoke weed, I want you to film me doing it.
Yeah,
Right?
I'm gonna smoke this blunt with you.
It's a calculated move. Now, it did two things. The immediate impact of Elon Musk smoking weed on YouTube. So guys, tell me, what was the immediate impact of that? Do you remember?
What, they gave him a copy strike?
No. Clinton, what was that?
Shares?
Yes, his businesses all dropped in share value immediately.
really? Oh yeah.
All
Elon
those
Musk,
companies'
I'm sorry.
valuation just, I wouldn't say plummeted, but they dropped significantly. Okay,
Yeah.
they dropped significantly. That's the first thing that happened. Okay, second, but then when they recovered, they really recovered.
Yep.
Okay, because it made him cool to an entire group of people who before were on the fence about him.
Mm-hmm. Shit, he can smoke some weed, then he ain't that type of evil person.
Yeah. So man, look at him now. I mean, richest man in the world now. He probably was back then already, but
Yeah.
tremendously rich. I mean, like, so he did something that wasn't necessarily against his morals, but may not have been a good idea for him
Right.
at the time, but he did it, right? So people
did
do this
that
kind of,
shit.
I mean, like, so would any other, okay, here's the question. Would any other public billionaire ever do that?
No.
When's the last time you saw a public billionaire even drinking something?
Yeah, like if Joe Rogan interviewed Bill Gates is
Never.
definitely not hitting the blunt with him.
Never. ever.
Bill Gates hit the blunt with him, he might die.
Yeah, Bill Gates, no way. I mean, let's count them down. Let's call the biggest guys in the world, right? It's number one by a big margins is Musk, right? By a big margin, he's number one. Number two is, I think, that guy. What's his name? Slim. Carlos Slim.
What?
Carlos Slim is a Mexican telecom mogul.
Oh, okay.
He's always been like number 2 or 3. He's always kind of teetering.
He might drink some tequila with Joe.
I'm sure that Carlos Slim, Carlos Slim he's a mix of Mexican and I think Lebanese.
Yeah.
His last name is probably Salim, but they call him Carlos Slim.
Okay.
Salim's a guess on my part. I don't know. But he's a mixture of Lebanese or something like that. He's some sort of Middle Eastern and Mexican mix.
Mm-hmm.
For sure that dude he's Mexican. He's a Latin American dude. I mean, he's got to drink, okay? I think
he'll drink some tequila with Joe.
No Latin American man doesn't drink, no matter what they say.
Nope,
okay?
I agree too.
You got to. Like a Filipino dude. There's no Filipino businessman that doesn't drink.
Yep.
Okay, so would they get on the Rogan show and drink?
Yeah.
You know,
and nobody, he won't lose the stock.
He might not because remember, the thing about Carlos Slim's stock, I think I want to say it's partially governmentally based.
Oh yeah.
And it's a telecom company. It's a little bit different than being a tech bro.
Yeah.
And Carlos Slim isn't. I mean, he's a CEO. He heads it up, and he owns a lot of stock. But it's not like, they deal in a technology where he doesn't invent anything. So he runs the company. So he's more of I don't think he would, because that would shake the faith of the investors. Like, oh man, look, our head of the company's actual head. See, you can forgive Elon Musk for doing shit because he comes up with innovations for the company for the most part.
Yeah, right? We need you to be high.
He's, that is a little bit different than, because he's more than just an executive there. Like Carlos Slim's an executive in his company. Carlos is like, that's what he does. He runs the thing. He doesn't invent anything. See, you need Elon Musk for Tesla because he basically makes the decision. I mean, he invents crap that they will be doing. Right. Unlike Carlos Slim, it's like the head of like General Telephone.
I think Jeff Bezos would smoke a blunt with.
I think Bezos would.
I think Bezos would do. I think Zuckerberg would too.
I think Zuckerberg would. Yeah.
I think Zuckerberg would.
Zuckerberg would. Yeah.
That would might.
Zuckerberg.
I think because Zuck is the person where he needs to look cool.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. I think he would do it. Yeah. Zuckerberg
he would do it.
He would do it. I mean, like he would do it if challenged to do it. He wouldn't seek it out.
One person I know who would do it. It's my favorite person in the world right now. The Andrew CEO, Palmer Luckey. You've heard of him?
No, have not.
Palmer Luckey. He had Oculus. He owned Oculus, and then he got they ousted him from Oculus for donating to Trump. And pretty much what he did, he took everybody from Oculus and he started a defense company called Andrew. And right now he's selling weapons to Ukraine.
Okay.
He's selling weapons to Taiwan, and he's big right now. He wouldn't smoke weed with Joe Rogan.
He wouldn't?
I don't think he would.
I guess
he got defense contract.
It depends what you do. Yeah, it's a defense contract.
Yeah,
no, he would
I don't think he would.
But I think that Putin would show up and have some.
He would definitely have some vodka with Joe Rogan.
Vodka, smoke a cigar.
Yeah.
That's the thing. If he smokes cigar, has some
and
vodka.
Joe Rogan be like, "Why did you invade Ukraine?" over some vodka.
Yeah.
Do you think that you can stop killing people?
And Putin be like, because I can.
It used to be Russia.
Yeah. Putin's an old school guy. I mean, think about it. Okay, so let's talk briefly about. Okay, so moralistically, so to me, to be asked to like kiss a dude, like passionately on my blog or vlog or whatever, that's something I wouldn't do because it's not really a morals thing, as it is something that I'm not into.
Right.
That I wouldn't call it a morals thing. I just call it something that I'm just not into it. Right? It wouldn't be the thing I'd be into. I mean, like, no, it's not my thing. Right? Like, and at the same time, kissing a woman on a blog or vlog would be something I couldn't, because there's no way in hell my wife would take that lying down.
Yeah.
No matter what I told her. Oh, they're going to give us $2 million for it. Right? No, I don't think that's ever. And even if she said I could, I know that I'm going to get shit for that for the rest of my life.
Yeah, you gonna have to give her half.
No, I mean, like, there's no way that ain't gonna fly either, right? So that ain't gonna happen. Okay. So like, okay, so that's that. I mean, okay. So to me, there's very few moral lines for me because I'm a business person, right? And I'm practical. Okay. And I'm not fanatical about a lot of things, except I am kind of fanatical about my ability to stay flexible.
Right.
Like my moral flexibility, I'm fanatical about that, right? Because I don't see a lot of things very strongly, right? You want me to make if they ask me to say some positive things about a Democratic candidate, I could find some positive things to say about them. Not necessarily about what I won't advocate for something that they're doing that I don't believe in, but I can find some positive things to say about them. Right? I can find some positive things to say about some of the things that they're doing that I do believe in, because obviously you can't no politician will be 100% against not 100% of what they do will be against you, against what you believe, right? So they got to do everybody's got to do something to make some sort of sense to you, right? Left or right. Okay. Like there's some that the stuff they talk about constantly, I mean, like AOC, what's her real name? Is it Alexandria something? What's the O? Alexandra Cortez. What? Ocasio-Cortez. AOC. See, she refuses to discuss regular everyday stuff publicly. So I'm sure that in her position, she handles mundane everyday things that do concern every voter. Okay, I'm sure she does everyday normal stuff in the community, but you never hear about that stuff because she's constantly talking about crazy ass shit, like she's always on that new Green Deal type stuff, where they're talking about eliminating fossil fuels 100%, which will mean getting rid of air travel. I mean, how can you get rid of air travel? It's a physical impossibility, right? She's always talking about those things. It's like as if Greta Thunberg was in Congress.
Do you think the Democrat Party is like on a downcline?
I just think that they're concerned about things that don't mean squat to regular Americans.
Like, because the big thing is about it's all Democratic people that are fighting against Trump bringing in the National Guard into the people's cities.
Okay, so I can see why they don't want that. Okay, here's the thing: the reason why Democrats don't want that, and I think Republicans have some concern about it too, is that their power doesn't extend to policing. The National Guard's not meant to be a police force.
True.
They're a military force. They're not a police force. They were never meant to police. So you don't have them when you bring them in. It's an emergency when you bring, and that's what he's doing. He's basically calling upon emergency powers to bring them in.
Right.
Like he's declaring an emergency to bring these people in. Okay?
True.
But the problem is this. Okay. So we had this where I quote unquote come from, the Philippines, right? Marcos. They're the first Marcos, Ferdinand Marcos. That's how he became a dictator. He called for martial law in the Philippines. Okay, to quell something, right? He called for martial law, and after that, he was in power permanently.
Oh, okay.
All right. Once you let the military onto the streets to control the people, then the government, the federal government, controls the states now. That's what people should be concerned about, right? We police ourselves. our individual states police ourselves.
Right.
And not just the state. I mean, there's state police, but for the most part, you've got locals, right? So you have city police, you have county. So counties have sheriffs, cities have police departments.
Yeah.
Okay. Cities that can't afford police departments use the sheriffs in the county, right? That's
True.
how it works, right? State police are very like, can you even think of a state? Okay. The only state police force that I can recall, because remember, there's other states with a state police force. Like I think Rhode Island has a state police force. State police in California, know what they are?
Yeah.
Highway police.
CHP.
Highway Patrol. Yeah.
California Highway Patrol. That's state that's a state organization. That's a state police
Right.
organization, right? But I think that's only. I don't think there is a California State Police Force besides them.
Right.
Okay. So that's where you get that. So, so in California, not only do you have, I mean, state police have limited powers. You know, you have local police, you have county, you have city. So LA City is in LA County, right? But sheriffs don't encroach on LAPD's territories because LAPD's ability to police their own area supersedes county's right to police it. Right? So when you allow a federal police force in, that pretty much
Supersedes everything.
Yeah, that's kind of iffy, right? It has to be the circumstances that bring. I mean, yeah, you should bring them in. There are times when you got to bring them in, right? The last legitimate time. Okay, so the last LA riot we had.
Yeah.
The immigration riot. Okay, I could see bringing them in because okay, so why did they bring them in? These riots were about ICE. So our ICE agents were being threatened by the populace.
Right.
Their ability to operate was being hampered. And the local police forces were doing nothing about it.
Right. Because we have sanctuary city policies.
Yeah. See, so and not just that. So some of them, you know, the people in charge of the local police were giving them specific instructions. Even there were no sanctuary cities. They're federal. You have to cooperate. The same way that local doesn't bust weed shops. They could, but they don't.
I've been busted.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it happens. Enforcement happens infrequently.
Yeah, that was local.
Yeah, but locally it normally doesn't. You know, because they don't have to if they don't want to, right?
Yeah.
Now a federal law enforcement, if they saw that, would have to bust you.
True.
Right. Now, I can see an argument for sending them in because ICE agents doing their duty. That's a federal police force. They're federal doing their duty, and if they are, if they're in danger, right, that shouldn't be a reason for them to stop doing their duty. Like great example, like if you're committing a crime, right, and police come out to arrest you, and if they feel in danger, trying to enforce the law upon you, they should bring it back up to the point where they can now go in there with feeling at least even on even ground, right? Now ICE can't bring enough people to do that. There's just not enough of them to. I mean, because if you think about it, if there's a whole crowd of people threatening them, they want to even out the odds. So imagine you're an LAPD. You go into a specific neighborhood to make good on a warrant.
Right.
Right. Can the neighborhood come out there and rally and gang up against you?
They sure can.
They can, right? But can you arrest them all?
No.
No, you're actually trying to enforce a warrant, right? You're trying to enforce the law, right? So they're obstructing.
Yeah.
They can.
Oh, because it's obstruction of justice.
Yeah, they can. But they can't if they feel in danger. Because, like, you know, if they're going to be swamped by 50 people, there's only 10 of them.
Yeah. You ain't got enough people.
But they can bring more people if they want to. So in a case like, so if that happens, so let's say that a situation is happening and they are executing a legitimate warrant, right? And they're being threatened by an entire neighborhood. They won't let those people just skate. They'll bring in enough reinforcements to enforce that. Because you can't you can't let a neighborhood that you police kick your ass.
Hell no.
Can't do that. Even prison
No.
guards, right?
Yep, you
do
can't
that.
be getting beat up by the inmates.
You can't do that, right? You have to restrict your dominance in that situation, right?
Yep.
Now, ICE doesn't have the manpower to do that. They don't have a
Nope.
police. They don't have a force on site big enough,
Mm-mm.
right? They could technically. They're trying to hire more now, right? But who can the government send to back them?
The National Guard.
Yeah, because they can't send FBI. I mean, like federal law enforcement. You don't send FBI for that. Like
No.
federal agents carrying firearms. You have what? FBI. You've got
ATF.
ATF. You've got
DEA.
DEA, right? But they don't do that. I mean, like that's not what they do.
No.
So
But-
sending the National Guard to back up. I mean, they mean like they're doing their jobs. You may not agree with the job they're doing,
Yeah.
right? But it's the law.
So there's a business narrative about this, right? That's been floating around.
Okay.
The business narrative is, in particularly Chicago, right? Because the mayor has been looking very, really, really, really bad when people have been interviewing him about this topic.
Okay.
His thing is, I'd rather have more money for social programs, right? And this is the narrative that people are going with. The reason why he wants social programs is because it gives them more money to not have enough results. Like pretty much these social programs are funded to keep the problem going, because if they stop the problem with their funding, then they won't ever
There's
receive
nothing-
more funding.
Yeah, then the funding is not necessary.
Thus, that's why we have the crime that we've had in Chicago for decades. You know what I'm saying? Like the reason why I think they're going to Chicago is because Chicago has press. It's not that it has the most crime. I mean, it is one of the biggest cities, and then we're trying to clean up these big cities for like FIFA and whatever
Yeah,
else that
yeah.
might come.
Oh yeah, we're going to see a big cleanup here because we have the Olympics coming.
Yeah, that's what like we was talking about last week. Like they're getting all the pimps off of Figueroa. Like
They're gone.
yeah, the pimps is gone.
They are
But
gone.
they really gone. But as far as like Chicago, this is a place they call Chirac. We can't be having no place called Chirac in the United States of America, not on Donald Trump's watch. You know what I'm saying? That just sounds bad.
Yeah.
Why are they calling it Chirac? Oh, because they got these killers. And you got these killers that rap about killing. You know what I'm saying? They're just talking about it in the urban areas. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And like, some people, like they've been interviewing people that are living in these places. Like DC, right? DC has already been the poster child. They have people who are saying that they love that it's safe again.
Yeah, so I've been hearing about DC being, and but they've been poking fun about that because I mean, there's what's funny, right? DC. So have you seen photos of it? There is a heavy militaristic presence in DC.
I haven't seen the videos. I've just seen the videos of people people talking about how safe it is.
Oh, it is safe.
And I'm like, I ain't seen the militaristic elements of it.
Well, okay, so remember. So why is it safe? The National Guard's there, right?
Oh yeah, the National Guard's there.
Yeah.
I get it.
So when you show up at it's like Grand Central State. I mean, when you show up there at the train station, it looks like a war is just let off and people are coming home, right? So after times of conflict, public transpo hubs are flooded with soldiers going home, right? So you like remember that really famous picture when we won World War II and some sailor is kissing a nurse.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what you get. People like the streets are full of military people in good spirits, right?
Right.
So I guess DC is like that. DC is just full of that's been the critique, is that it's full of National Guardsmen doing nothing. They're just
they've been
standing
cleaning up
around,
trash,
having a good time. They're like, the place is clean. They're just kind of milling about, having a good time. Even like, It's like, what are they doing here? The funny part is the reason why it's not in chaos. It's not the mess it used to be, is because of the fact that they're standing. I mean, like,
they're just standing there.
Because people don't want to do. Okay,
I wouldn't do no crime in front of no National Guard.
If the police presence is heavy, you don't get people screwing around.
Yeah, they said the YNs disappeared. They said the YNs done disappeared. Ain't nobody getting robbed. Ain't nobody getting jacked. Ain't no crime.
Yeah. Well, I
Like,
mean
and I'm like,
that's a natural result of heavy police presence.
and I mean, for me in LA, like even though crime is big, I don't think it's that big to where we need a
No,
militaristic
yeah,
presence.
yeah, for sure.
Now, I can't speak for Chicago. You know what I'm saying? Like there are people like, man, I don't feel safe. You know what I'm saying? Like
Well,
in DC, huh?
let's go beyond that kind of crime. Okay, DC had crime. I mean, DC had one of the highest murder rates in the country. They actually had there was points where it was the highest murder rate in the country, right?
Right.
DC had a significant amount of violent crime, but DC was also dirty. DC was a filthy place. I mean, like, so even that has abated. Not just because these people are picking stuff up, but because nobody's throwing stuff down.
I ain't littering in front of no National Guard.
At the same time, the streets are still full of people. So it's not like, so people want to paint DC as a place where it's wall-to-wall military and everyone's hiding in their homes. It's not the case. People are still doing their everyday stuff. They're milling about. It's just that, so the amount of foot traffic, I don't think, has decreased in DC. People are still there. People are still consuming. It's just now nobody is littering. Nobody is, they're acting like they should act.
Yeah.
Okay. Because
this guy was running around with $200,000 worth of jewelry on. It was like, man, I feel safe.
Yeah, you can do stuff like that now. And people are probably going out and doing stuff that wouldn't necessarily go out before or after a certain time. So
Right.
so California, I mean not California, LA, yeah, we have our share of violent crime. But LA, I don't look at LA and see a filthy place.
Nah, LA is filthy.
I mean, we have a certain
Depends
level.
on where you go.
Okay, now have you been to San Francisco? San Francisco is filthy.
I haven't been to San Francisco in a while.
Dude, in
Now,
San
like-
Francisco, people shit on the streets. It's a thing. It's actually, they're known for it now. People pooping. Because you know why?
Why?
They are a homeless-friendly city.
Oh yeah, that's true. But see, and that's the biggest thing. Is like, what are you guys gonna do with the homeless? Now, what I've heard about the Bay Area, which I know is big, is the Bipper situation, where people are
Define
breaking
Bipper.
into cars.
What?
Breaking into cars. They call them Bippers.
Why do they call
Like
them
I don't know why they call them Bippers. That's just what they call them. Like they go and they break into cars. Like it got so bad that people leave their car. They leave their car windows down just because they don't want their car windows broken.
Okay, makes sense.
You know what I'm saying? And that situation where it's that out of control, call the National Guard.
That's out of control. If
That's
people,
out of control.
If people are forced to leave everything unlocked just so no damage occurs when they break in anyway, yeah, that's out of control.
You're not policing properly. Go get the National Guard.
That's out of control.
that.
That's out of control.
That's out of control.
Yeah, I mean, like
Now, I don't know what was happening in DC. You know what I'm saying? Like they said that people was getting carjacked and all this
yeah, I
type
heard
of
that
stuff.
too. Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Like Chicago, I just think it's more publicized because remember there are rappers who rap about this type of stuff. And when people are rapping about it, there's media and blogs that also cover it. So I think it might be blown out of proportion. You know what I'm saying? Also, they had a lot of high profile murders that were hip hop related. You know, like a couple big murders that was hip hop related, where it's like, okay, this sounds kind of out of control. Maybe y'all need the National Guard. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, okay, I can see that.
I can see that part.
Yeah, so I mean, the National Guard, they really should. They should only be called in case of emergency. But that's a funny. If you really think about it, though, I mean, DC is turned around dramatically, right?
In 14 days.
And so, I mean, it says something about presence. I don't want to call it an authoritarian presence, but the presence of authority. There has to be some sort of presence. If that people don't do things. Okay, so there's levels there. I don't know how to say it properly, but you might know that you're constantly being recorded, right? But you'll act differently knowing you're constantly being recorded than you would act if you knew that you were not. At the same time,
I don't think recording deters people. People still do.
they do, yeah,
random
but
stuff
that's what I'm saying. So there's different levels. So there's an environment where you know that you're completely anonymous. That no one's recording you, no one's looking at you, right? Then there's an environment where you know that you're being monitored electronically. And then there's an environment where somebody's in the room with you, right?
Yeah.
And how you act varies. Even though you know you're being watched and you know that you will be held accountable, you still might do, there are things you will do, there's things you won't do that you would have done if no one's watching you, period. But then there's stuff that you wouldn't do because you're being watched, right?
Right.
Which is different than somebody being in the room. It gets what you're unwilling to do gets stricter. Like that example. People will say and do things on a video or on a digital meeting like this that they wouldn't do if we were live in front of each other, right? Because you guys know, I mean, we all know, we can see each other, right? Anything happening within the borders of these screens can be seen, right? We know that, okay? Yet there's things, and I try to act and I try to behave and do things that I would do here that I would only do in real life, right? But some people, there's a disconnect. I won't say any names, but I think I told you guys a story before. I was on a Zoom with somebody, okay? One-on-one Zoom, no audience, not recorded, not recorded for a podcast, one-on-one Zoom, okay? With somebody they know very, very well, okay? We always see each other live, okay? We know each other personally. We're more than just business people, okay? We're friends, okay? I've been to their house, they've been to mine, okay? And all the live meetings that we've done, okay? There's just some things that you just don't get comfortable to do, right? Have you guys ever been in a live meeting with somebody and reached down your pants and scratched your balls?
No,
right? Have you ever been in a live meeting and like start picking your teeth with a toothpick? I've seen people with a toothpick in their mouths talking to people, but they've never really dug in the back. Have you ever dug in the back? I mean, you wouldn't do it in front of a friend.
Never dug in my nose, never wiped my eyes.
I may get an itch, and what I'll do is I'll kind of do this. I'll never like reach in to scratch it, right?
No.
Would you ever clean your ears with a Q-tip in front of me live?
Not live or on a Zoom.
Or on a Zoom, right? But, a person I've known for a very long time on a Zoom, and I didn't say anything because they didn't turn the camera off. They know that I could see them, right? All of a sudden, I can see, they're talking, the hand comes into view, and it's holding a Q-tip, right? I'm thinking to myself, that is a Q-tip. He's not going to, all of a sudden, he's using the Q-tip. I'm like, as if it's nothing, right? Didn't make any mention of it, I just played it off. I mean, I didn't mention it at all because I just thought it was interesting. Because it's one of those moments where it's like, he knows I can see him. But because of the environment, that's the boundary he can cross because of the environment, right? The same way that people, when they write, the difference between saying something to somebody, emailing it to them versus texting it to them, the language, the kinds of things you'll say changes depends on but it's still something that you're telling a person, right? And what you may say to them will change if it's on the phone or if you're in front of them live. Right? That's just that thing. So I think that having a physical authority, a physical presence of authority, I don't want to call it an authoritarian.
Yeah, that's a big word that they use.
Yeah. I don't want to say authoritarian. There it is. Yeah. I don't want to call it an authority because it's not. I mean,
it's something that we should have did a long time ago.
Increased police presence is not authoritarian. Right?
No.
I don't think it is. Because they're not there saying, citizen, move along. It's not like that.
Yeah, it's not like RoboCop is out there.
Yeah, it's not like that. They're just there showing us that there's somebody you can go to if shit's hitting the fan.
Yeah. Because before that, and I'm just keeping 100. Our young men have turned into YNs. And it's like, this is crazy. Like, our YNs are
Let's go ahead
doing.
and say what YN is.
It's a young nigga.
Yep, there you go.
Like that has only happened in this generation where these young, like, and it's happening in a generation. It's so weird where we live in a generation where education and all types of things to where you can learn are way more accessible, but yet people are getting dumber,
Yeah.
and
Yes.
people are resorting to dumber and dumber crimes.
Yeah. People devolving.
People are devolving. Not in the carjackings in the national capital. You serious? There shouldn't even be any crime there
Yeah.
when you really think about it. But it's like it's always been crime there when you really like when
Mm-hmm.
people as people say. But it's like in this day and age, that should have been gone. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's like I don't know. I can't blame it on a particular thing. I'm just gonna say that this is just the era. In this era, our young men have turned into YNs, and now that they're YNs, things are just way more intense. So it's like
Well,
like
remember, let's not make it purely. I mean, because let's use that same term for people across all races.
oh
Okay?
yeah, it is.
It's
I'm
not
not
it's
just
not,
oh
it's
no
not,
no
yeah,
no.
it's they're
You can be a white guy YN. You can be
YN
an
white
Asian
dude.
YN.
Yeah. So I
Don't
mean,
just
like,
think I'm talking about darker skinned people. Oh no.
no, it's just a mentality among young. I mean, just a
Yeah,
mentality of way
it's just
behaving.
it's a mentality.
It's a
It
way of
ain't a
behaving. Yeah.
person. It ain't a skin color. It's a
Yeah.
mentality.
Yeah. There we go. Let's look at it that way because that's true. I mean, but they still won't do that stuff if it's in front of somebody who can do something.
Nope, you
about
ain't
it.
doing it in front of no National Guard,
Yeah.
homeboy. You ain't that tough.
And the funny thing is that they will, and see, there is where the huge difference. Okay, so what has been it was happening for a while here. I mean, it became a craze, a criminal activity that became a craze. You saw it happening a lot.
Oh, the
With
takeover?
smash and grabs.
Oh wow.
Remember those? Where like
Yeah.
people would just run into like a Gucci store and just basically a crowd of them would
That's
run
still
in
happening.
and grab everything and run out. Right?
Yeah.
Why do they do that? Why? The reason they do
Because
that is
it ain't nobody watching them.
well, no, the security. See, private security in a store is instructed not to confront these people, right? They will confront a person getting belligerent and try to minimize damage to their customers and try to escort them out, but they can't lay hands on anybody, right? If you steal from a store and you try to get away from them, they're more than likely going to let you go because they're not supposed to get into it with you physically. Right. So if you're shoplifting in a Gucci store or any store and security has been called and then they're stopping at the door, if you make a run for it and try to get physical with them, they will probably let you go. That's what they're supposed to do. Now you're listening to them because you're conditioned to listen to authority, right? But if you want to make a break for it, you can. And they'll probably let you go. Unfortunately, your dumbass probably parked right there in the parking lot and you're going to get in your car and you have a plate on there. Okay.
Right.
And we ran across one of our friends, more of an acquaintance, got busted in a smash and grab because he parked too close. He was too lazy to park further away like everybody else did, and they busted him because he parked close enough that they pursued and got his plate number. Everybody else parked further away. He just didn't want to run that far. Man, he got put on the cardio. Anyway, so, and that's why they do it now. If they had greater levels of police presence, walking the streets in those in a store like that, see, even if it was armed security, they still can do it. I mean, like it doesn't matter if armed or unarmed. The reason why they don't intervene physically is because of lawsuits. That's why they rather lose product than have to get into a lawsuit because a security guard broke somebody's arm. Okay, or open fire on you. I mean, a security guard opening fire on somebody. I mean, they may feel that's a problem. They may say I felt threatened, right? But that's hard. I mean, that's hard to prove in court that he felt threatened enough to do that.
Right.
Yeah, you had a gun. And that's the thing. I mean, like it's all like gun versus bad, gun versus knife. If the person had a firearm, and none of these people ever do. None of these people doing smash and grabs are ever armed.
No, because
They're
that's the
smarter
extra
than that.
charge.
They know that that's the reason why somebody can actually shoot at them, right?
Yep.
So you can't have armed security. Okay, you need increased police presence outside of the stores to prevent people. Because if they knew that there's police regularly walking about, there's always going to be somebody a block or less away, they wouldn't do it because they have the ability to do that, right? People, and depending on where you are. Okay, so in the Philippines, especially after, okay, so the Philippines, there are see, a lot of times criminal activity there happens with armed people. Okay, it's a different kind of a country, different kind of a culture. People are more willing to harm other people in the commission of crimes.
Dang.
Okay, that's what happens. In the third world, people are more willing to cause harm. Okay, to get something. Okay, and that's why security there is a little bit different. Security will definitely lay hands on you. Okay, even if they're not supposed to.
Well, if I steal in the Philippines, I'm under it, huh?
Yeah, dude, do not try to commit a crime there because they will. They may be instructed to observe and report, like because the company I ran there before, we provided what's it called, well, one of my companies, we did CCTV for a lot of big companies. So we did the CCTV systems and we trained them in how to properly use it. And then we were also I was liaising with a security company that provided all the security guards for this really large clothing chain. So we had something like over 120 something stores, or it was more than that. We had in the hundreds of stores in the country, and each store had, I think, 4 security guards. Okay, so we're talking, our security guard force numbered over 1,000 people. Okay, and they're all armed. Okay, and they're not supposed to get into it with anybody shoplifting. I mean, they're supposed to observe and report. They're supposed to be there as a presence to make the customers feel safe in case there's a real emergency. But people get hot-headed. Like the Philippines essentially is more of a more of a Latin country than it is an Asian country. So we have that hot-headed streak going. They won't back down. So if somebody does go into it, it'll turn to a shooting match. Right? An armed robber in one of those stores versus armed security. Yeah, there's going to be exchange of fire. Okay? But that's why it doesn't happen. Okay, that's why it just doesn't happen. Because there is the fact that if you go to McDonald's over there, there's going to be a guy wearing a security guard uniform. Actually, it looks like a cop with a shotgun and a sidearm at the door, opening it for you.
Yeah, I'm definitely not going in at McDonald's and trying to do anything. I ain't even gonna steal extra soda.
People don't get into it there. The only people who raise their voices in McDonald's and become vocally complaining people are foreigners.
Oh yeah, because we do that here.
The only ones, because they know that they're untouchable.
Really?
Yeah.
I wouldn't feel like I was untouchable.
Oh, dude, as a foreigner in the Philippines, you are untouchable. Security guards will not mess with a foreigner.
Oh, because it's more litigation?
Yeah, they know that that's highly problematic to mess with a foreigner in the Philippines. Yeah,
I get it. I mean, I get it from that perspective. It's just me. What?
It's like they don't mess with tourists in places like Puerto Vallarta. Places that rely on tourism don't mess with tourists.
Man.
And okay, when I say that a foreigner can't commit a crime in McDonald's, I'm not saying that. Yeah. But in a McDonald's, you don't see heated arguments about orders. Have you guys ever been in McDonald's where somebody is in a heated argument about their order? I've seen it.
Yeah.
In the U.S., I've seen it where people are in the McDonald's and they're complaining about something's cold, or somebody, or they feel like
my order.
There's not enough nuggets in here, or I've seen people arguing about their orders in a McDonald's in America. Okay,
that's crazy. Like I don't know. I've never done that.
You've never seen it?
Not in the McDonald's. I've seen it in other fast food places, but I've never really seen it in the McDonald's particularly.
Dude,
I've seen a lot of arguments in fast food places. I
I
can't think
wit
about none in McDonald's.
witnessing somebody getting into it in McDonald's. I went to a McDonald's in Santa Cruz with somebody that I knew. I went to college with him, right? We showed up there at college first week, right?
Yeah.
And one of the guys in my dorm is from LA too, and he's Mexican, okay. And so we're at McDonald's in Santa Cruz, and he used to work in McDonald's. I guess that's what we found out. We found out that he used to work at McDonald's in high school, and he became like a shift leader or something like that. Okay, and so we're in there now. Remember, we're older. Guys watching this, Quentin and I are older. Raymond's a bit younger than us. But this was a time when there was the what was it called again? It was a McDonald's product that doesn't exist anymore. It was a hamburger separated into so the container was was like an
imagine McFresh or Mc something.
So imagine a Big Mac container opened, right? So it has two sides to it, right? Picture that, except it's an open one at the bottom. So back then they were made of styrofoam too. So it was a 2-compartment bottom and a 2-compartment top. Okay, the McDLT? It was called the McDLT, I think.
What does DLT stand for?
A McDonald's lettuce and tomato. So McDonald's has shredded lettuce on their burgers, right? Little shreds of lettuce. See, so the McDLT was an effort by McDonald's to have a burger with like hand-leaf lettuce and a thick cut tomato on it.
Keep the cool side cool
and the hot side hot. That's what it is. So on one side was the bun that had the lettuce and tomato on it with some sauce. The other side was the bun piece that had the meat and the cheese. So they gave it to you separated so that it kept the cool side cool and the hot side hot. It was the McDLT.
Yes.
Okay, that's when this is the time they did that, right? And this friend of mine ordered a McDLT. Okay, they couldn't give it to him because they ran out of tomatoes. They had to slice these tomatoes, so these were not pre-sliced. They had to slice these, so they didn't have fresh tomatoes. They wouldn't give it, and so that's when he just went ballistic. And we weren't expecting this, right? We had no idea that this is the first week we're meeting this guy. Okay, and all of a sudden, he's like citing ordinances to them, like paragraph 7 of the McDonald's handbook, right? He's just going off. So they should never, ever be out of anything. Okay. So if you're out of tomatoes, so if you run out of tomatoes there, you have to send somebody to buy them in the market. You can never not have a McDLT to give. So he was telling them, it's like, so he revealed himself to be like a shift manager at McDonald's. And so that he hit them with that. Then he indicated that he cited what time of the day it was, and he pointed out how many items are under heat lamps, and he's saying that stuff should all be tossed because it's been there too long. I mean, like he just went on. I mean, like he became the McDonald's Nazi. We were all embarrassed to be around him. Like I'll shrink it away.
Yeah, we're not going to McDonald's with you, big dog.
That's exactly what happened. So now, as soon as he starts throwing this stuff out, they realize that shit, this guy's a shift leader, whatever he was, and that he would call into McDonald's corporate and bust this location. And so all of a sudden, we just saw a person go running out to go buy that tomato. And then he says, I want my food prepared in front of me. You guys ain't going to be spitting in it. So they were like,
oh, wow.
Yeah, so he made him make it in front of him.
Wow.
Right? He really went off. They had to toss all the stuff that was under heat lamps too long. They had to throw it all away. We watched them all do it. I'm like, whoa. So this place had gotten used to overproducing product. They had gotten used to making it in a bunch of it and just keeping it under heat. And everybody who was getting it.
When they come, they just, I get what you're saying.
Yeah, so they're getting stale food.
Don't do that shit.
They're getting stale food. So they had overpopulated them. They had made too much food and they're keeping it under heat. That's what they were doing. That's what they were doing. So so he basically busted them on it. And man, he just went off.
Yeah.
Obviously, he goes there. I don't remember. We didn't eat McDonald's that often in Santa Cruz. Because when school came into full swing, we all had those cafeteria passes. Santa Cruz is great. They have seven. They had like 8 different colleges, and each one has its own high end cafeteria. We had steak
Yeah.
nights. We all you can eat steak. It was great. But this was before those things opened up, so we were there early. Back then, we had, what was it called? We had affirmative action,
Uh,
and so us brown and black folks could go early and get settled into our dorms. I think it was kind of cool.
really?
Yeah, we were invited in early. I was there a full week and a half, 2 weeks before school opened up. So we had run of the campus, with the empty campus, right? We were parking anywhere we wanted to. We were like, our dorms were open to us. We were throwing crazy ass parties. Roman free. It was great. So we were there early. Everyone was hooking up. It was insane. So it was all, it was a mixture of Asian folks. There were some Asian folks, some black folks, there's a good number of Filipinos, which I'm lumping into Asians, a lot of Latinos. So that's why there was a bunch of Mexican guys from LA who were there. So this is UC Santa Cruz. So so it's freshman early orientation for students under the affirmative action banner. Remember, this is 1989. Okay.
That's crazy.
So I was there like, dude, we had the whole campus to ourselves, like huge ass campus. Santa Cruz is physically the largest campus of all the UCs.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Picture like less than maybe 150 students on campus, maybe 200 students on campus as a whole.
Mm-hmm.
On a campus that big, we just ran the whole thing. We owned the whole place. It was awesome. And they had staff there just for us.
Yeah.
So the RAs were already on site. They had orientation meeting, like they had staff there just for that limited number of students. It was crazy. We were like being hand walked everywhere. They're showing us all. It was freaking crazy.
But I get it. But would affirmative action be called problematic now?
Yeah, it's quotas.
Ah,
And you guys, I've told that story. The only reason, okay, so my test scores are through the roof. Incredible testing scores. Any testing type of thing. Like there was a thing called the Iowa tests before. You guys are Quentin may have seen them. It's basically they don't do stuff like that anymore because it's like IQ tests. They don't really do IQ tests anymore among students because they don't want to highlight the differences in intelligence between students anymore. Right? They've eliminated a lot of programs for smarter kids. Like we had all sorts of programs for advanced kids before. They wanted advanced kids to advance. So we have what's called GATE, Gifted and Talented Education. There's GATE programs. You have a lot of other, and then if you scored really high in these Iowa tests, it's all standardized testing to try to test. Basically, they're trying to assess. So, you're given Iowa tests when you're in first grade. Okay. So these aren't tests where you have a lot of cultural experience. People will say giving intelligence tests, IQ, certain tests to older people, you have advantages because of your cultural backgrounds. You're exposed to things that you wouldn't know if you weren't. Right. So if there's questions about regattas, for example, regattas being races using boats, certain people who have no idea of what they are or have never experienced one would not be able to answer questions about it.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So experience gives you an advantage in those tests. Right. And depends on your socioeconomic background, you may have a different advantage. Right. But when you give these kinds of tests to somebody in first grade, kindergarten, that won't really make that big of an impact. Right.
That's crazy.
So, so I'm scoring crazy high on all these things. So it was partially because my memory at that time, it's fading now, but was photographic essentially. And you guys know now, I remember everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. But back then I remembered everything word for word. I can read a page and read it back and recite it back to you. Right. That helps a lot in terms of, knowledge retention for me was a big thing. Right. And so, they test students to try to break people into different groups. They want to identify the people who learn faster so you can put them in an environment for them only. Yeah. And then you want to identify everybody else so that you can put them in a standard speed environment. So they want to give the faster learners a faster environment so that they don't stagnate.
Well, so it kind of goes back to what we were just saying earlier, where I was like, everybody's turning into a YN, and I think everybody's getting dumber.
Yeah.
Do you think it's because now we don't have things like affirmative action or
Well,
things to like kind of break down, like even an IQ test to be like, okay, where does this person stand? Where does this person stand? To kind of break it down and kind of cater to each person.
yeah.
Because just because I feel like just because you may have a low IQ testing, you may be gifted in some other
Yes.
area. You know what I'm saying?
I get it. It's funny though, because what they did before is they're trying to split you up in based on your speed of learning. Is how they did it before. Speed of learning is how they split you up, right? Now they're trying to cater to each individual's learning style. Right? That's what they're trying to do now, which is difficult because that can become very expensive. Breaking people up into the super advanced and the average is one thing. That's two groups, right? And the reason why I bring it up is because, okay, so I point out that the only reason I was at a UC was because of affirmative action. Okay, see, my ability to remember everything, right, makes me lazy at doing homework because I know that my test scores and my quizzes, standard tests, and finals, add that all up, and I'll get a B no matter what.
Yeah, I was like that. Like I would sleep in class, but I knew the concept.
Yeah.
I knew the concept good enough to where I can pass.
Yeah,
because I knew the concept. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. See, the thing is, with me, I mean, I will get the highest. I will get an A+ on every single test, quiz, or final, right? Because you are not only exhibiting a competency in the information, but I remember everything. So as long as I saw the answer at some point in time, I'll be able to give it, right?
Do you feel like, because this is my biggest thing, right? And like people like, well, you shouldn't have to be incentivized to just do work. I'm like, no. I feel like when I wasn't incentivized to do things, I didn't care. So like if I was in, like, say for you, right? If you were incentivized to use your photographic memory to do certain things in college and say like you were paid for, right? Like just like right now, some of these kids are getting paid millions of dollars to play football. If they had something for you where you were getting paid to do it to go to college, would you apply yourself more?
Well, here's the thing. So in high school, right? So I knew that I would definitely get at least a B in everything by not doing. If I didn't do any homework, right, I would get 0 points because homework doesn't make up a big enough percentage to really matter. See, unless that's the problem. Unless you're trying to get into a highly competitive school. See, that's the problem I had. See, I didn't think far enough ahead.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, but what was hilarious is that I had somebody, my grade level coordinator, help me out tremendously by pulling strings to people he knew to basically bring me to the attention of these colleges as an individual rather than as just a name coming through, right? So he pulled some strings to have them to look at me harder and say like, hey, look at this kid's SAT scores. Look at his IQs, his IQ test. They give him, so they're looking at that and they're like, okay, and like look at his grades and realize he got those grades without doing any homework at all.
Yeah.
Right. That's not necessarily a good thing, but basically they were able to look at me as an individual. That's why I got into a few UCs. Normally they wouldn't have taken me with the grades I had, right? But he also he advised me to use, obviously, I'm not white, right? So he advised me to use that to my advantage. Add all those things I just told you to the fact that I'm not white and apply through affirmative action. I mean, affirmative action, see, I would have never gotten in without that. I mean, if they had looked even at those factors, look at his SAT scores, blah, 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 blah. Look at all these things. If I was not, if they didn't have the there's quotas to fill. We need more of what he is, right? Need, and
need more Filipinos.
See, the thing is though, I probably took a spot that probably could have gotten to a worthier person.
Nah, I get it. I mean,
under my color, right? Because like I was highlighted. So not only am I from an affirmative action, I'm being looked at as a person too, an individual person. But yeah, I mean, if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't have gotten in, probably. Which would have been maybe a better thing because I would have had to gone to a junior college, right? Less expensive education for sure,
Yeah.
right? And I could have transferred as a junior to anywhere I wanted to go, right?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, is affirmative action problematic? I mean, here's the thing. So it comes back to our moral thing, right? I have a level of moral flexibility. I use programs that are advantageous to me,
Yeah.
right? If so, the way I feel about affirmative action is different because it can help me.
Yeah.
I would feel differently probably if it couldn't, right? And is
Yeah.
affirmative action a good thing? I mean, like, see, as a person who benefited from it,
It was a good thing.
I mean, it's a good thing, but I still don't think I mean,
Oh, looking at it from an
look,
overall
yeah,
perspective.
I mean, like, and that's where the moral flexibility comes in.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think affirmative action is necessarily a good thing. I mean, like, if it takes a spot that somebody more qualified is being denied, right? I mean, but okay, so in terms of an education, maybe not. Okay, it depends where it's at. Okay, so a person may not get into a UC, okay, through affirmative action, but that's not bad because they can get a quality education at a junior college level or community college level
Yeah.
and make the decision. Because the thing is that most people going to college, a lot of them really probably shouldn't. It's just not, the environment's not for them. They're not going to flourish there, right?
Yeah.
Everybody should try.
Yeah.
I think everybody should give it a shot to see if it's for them, right? And then see, some people just don't work well under those constraints, right?
Yeah. I sometimes wish I didn't go because I think I didn't go at the right time. I think my junior college experiences were needed, especially my second one. I did college twice when I think about it. I did junior college and both universities, right? The first university, which is Clark, was all black. So it's like I was gonna get in regardless. I didn't see myself not getting in.
So
I
wait,
don't
did
even,
you go there after community college?
yeah.
Okay,
And then when I got
you
into
you were
Pepperdine,
junior transfer is what you were.
I was a transfer, yeah. But Pepperdine was different. Pepperdine was all networking. I met people that worked at Pepperdine. I was networking. I was going to their events. I networked my way into Pepperdine. That was different.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, like, it wasn't no affirmative action, nothing. It was just all based off networking and them actually seeing what I was doing on campus.
Also, remember, affirmative action doesn't apply in a private setting.
Yeah, I don't think. Yeah, it
Yeah.
like it don't. Well, I mean, what it does, like you're saying, like it don't apply in a setting like what is a like
Remember,
private college,
affirmative
what, like
action
Harvard,
in those days, affirmative action only really applies in
states of schools.
in a public college.
Oh, okay, yeah,
See, a
public college,
private college like Stanford really doesn't deal in affirmative action.
yeah, or like what, like Harvard don't deal with
Harvard,
it.
nope, not either.
Yeah, I get
In a
that.
way they do. I mean, if there's a federally required percentage they have to have of certain races, maybe.
Yeah,
But see, the thing is, I don't think that in college it should be applied because let's say that you're a black or brown or some sort of race student that's underrepresented in education,
hmm,
right? I think that the first, remember, we for those unfamiliar with the way education works, you can attend a junior college. I keep saying junior college. That's what it used to be called. You can attend a community college for
Yep.
2 years. Okay, and the way that these four-year universities work is with us as a transfer student. If you transfer from a, let's say, community college like Mount San Jacinto College or Rio, or West LA College, if you have the requirements for you to get in as a junior transfer are very low. Like you have
Yep.
to have a 2 point something
hmm,
GPA to transfer at UCLA, right? So you can go if you have if you meet these minimal requirements. So basically, you work with a counselor to get on a path to transfer to a specific university. They'll tell you what classes you got to take. They get what the requirements are, and you can easily get in. But here's the thing: a lot of people aren't built for that environment. College, period, right? So if you go to a four-year university right off the bat and you're not suited for the environment, you're not mature enough for the environment yet, and you basically flunk out, okay, you've just incurred a massive debt to fail out of college.
Yep.
Okay, to find out that, oh, it's either not for me or I'm not ready yet, and you fail out of college within the first 2 years and you're stuck with this crushing debt already. Okay. Whereas if you had attended a community college, keep saying it. If you attended a community college for those first 2 years, you can find out if you have the discipline, right? Or if the environment's for you, and you can transfer to wherever you want to go. See, in the end, if the degree, what's on the diploma matters, not where you finished matters more than where you started, right? You want to bounce out with UCLA diploma, you can. You can start at West LA College and you can graduate at LA. You can graduate in San Diego. You can graduate at Santa Barbara, Santa Cruz, Berkeley, anywhere you want to go. Okay, especially now because a lot of attendance can be digital, right? So before, you can start at a community college in LA and you can transfer as a junior into Berkeley as long as you can live there. I mean, like if you can make it work, you can find a place to live up there, attend your last 2 years, graduate a Berkeley degree, right? Now you can do the same thing, except you may not even have to move there. You can probably take a lot of it online. Okay. But that's the cool thing is that you can find out if you're cut out for it in the first 2 years and not be left with crushing debt if it's not for you.
No.
Right? Because in California, a resident can go for free to a community college. They'll get Pell Grants. Any resident will get a Pell Grant to cover that.
Oh, yeah.
What they won't get is their books covered.
No, I had to pay for my books. Yeah. All right.
But you can apply for loans. You can apply for other grants. So there's other grants you can get depending on your financial situation. And a lot of the courses now have electronic versions of the books, which are very cheap compared to the physical versions.
Right.
Okay. There's no better time to try college out than now. Okay. So I would say that I would eliminate affirmative action type stuff on the, quotas at colleges should be a thing of the past. I mean, because it just sends somebody somewhere that they're not going to, you're not proven there yet. Because even some of the best students in high school may not have what it takes in college.
Yeah. And then honestly, I think more colleges looked at it as like a business. They're just really trying to find the people who are going to really pay. Yeah. Who got some money to pay, to be honest with you.
Yeah. They're churning it out. And that's, it is a business. But as a student, you should look at that. You should look at, so I think that, getting into a UC may not have been the best thing for me. Right?
Well, you think you should have went to a JC?
Yeah. Or community college. Let's call it community colleges. That's what they are now.
Oh, right? Yeah. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Going to community college would have been way better for me than doing that. Right? Because what happened to me is after 2 years, I jumped into real estate and finance immediately. Right? And built a big business doing that. Right?
Right.
I didn't need any of the courses that I took to do what I did.
That's what kind of happens with most people.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get it.
So, some of the accounting stuff maybe helped me out. I mean, like now in what I do as a consultant, some of the stuff that I took is helpful. Marketing, consulting, some is helpful. I mean, marketing and accounting is helpful in what I do now. The experience is helpful in what I do now. But the thing about it is that even people who did well in high school, right? Part of the reason why they did well, so I lacked the discipline because I knew I could get by without it, right? I could just, as long as I read the material. So in high school, I definitely did all the reading. Give me the material. I went through it all because I knew that that's what it would take to get me to pass, right? Mm-hmm. I would never skip on that because if I didn't do that, I wouldn't be able to do what I did, right? Now, students in high school who had to do the reading and do the homework and do study groups to get good grades. And a lot of them got really great grades. Like, those perfect GPAs. A lot of those people did that. They did the reading, they did study groups, they did all their homework, they did everything, right, to be able to get those awesome grades. The discipline that they had was because maybe it was enforced, right? In their household, they were being forced. Like, it was kind of an expectation. I knew people who got great grades in high school, went to college, because I roomed with a lot of them. I was at it. I knew a lot of them in college, right? That all faded, because now they can go out and party whenever they wanted to, any night of the week they wanted to. They didn't have to show up to class. A lot of classes that I took, attendance wasn't taken.
Oh.
Okay, at a UC especially, we had like these classroom units. I would seat 2,000 students. They're not taking attendance. You walk into this auditorium that looks like the main auditorium at Man Chinese, the old theater. They're not taking attendance.
Yeah, you really like. It's only people who are really going in there just to learn.
Yeah.
I think with certain, I guess the bad part about college, like sometimes, like for me, I was just going there just to pass. I didn't look at it as like, oh, I'm learning. Like it wasn't until I got to Pepperdine where I was like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm using this to enhance my skills. If that makes sense. Like,
Yeah. I mean,
we
and
were
you
doing
went,
business at the same time
yeah.
going to school.
And you were at Pepperdine at what age? You were 30 something?
I was like 27.
27, right? I mean, like, that's older, right?
Yeah.
You were like a real adult, right? We're talking about like, kids.
And I was still young compared to everybody in my class, though.
I mean, kids going to these UC, I mean, like, they're showing up, they're 17, they're 18 years old, maybe. Never had a taste of freedom.
Yeah.
Right. A lot of us, especially the ones who got really great grade, I mean, like, we thought, oh, this is gonna be easy, right? And the reading got away from us. They end up never going to class, right? And then you're just there, and you're living in a dorm, right? So you're living in a dorm, hundreds of miles away from home. There's the only adult. I mean, technically we're all adults now, but the only real adult is your RA. Okay. Who basically I've come to realize that RAs are students who didn't want to leave school. See, most of the RAs are graduates. I mean, like, one of our RAs was in their like early 30s now, has gotten a master's. They're getting a PhD. They've never left the academic environment. They loved it so much that they continue to live on campus because they like it. They're never going to work. They're gonna keep taking advanced degrees until they can no longer hacky sack. I mean, it's Santa Cruz. Hacky sacking is, I mean, like a bunch of dirty-footed people hacky sacking is Santa Cruz, right? And so
I never experienced RAs, to be honest with you.
You never had them?
I never lived on campus.
Oh, okay, yeah. Living. Okay, but see, this is what I'm talking about. The difference between, to me, and that's what I'm saying. So when I say going to a 4-year, we're talking about leaving and living on campus to go to a 4-year. And that's why the bills rack up.
Yeah.
Right? Because dorms aren't free.
Nope.
Right? You pay for that. Right? So not only are you paying for the education itself, you're paying for the accommodation.
Right.
Right? So, I mean, if I had gone to a community college, and back then we would have called it a junior college, it would have been probably Mount Sac. That's the closest one to me, Mount San Antonio College. Okay, I lived in Diamond Bar. Okay, that's right there next to it. That's probably where I would have gone. At the furthest would have been Rio Hondo, which is still pretty close, drivable, easy. Okay, I would have stayed at home. Okay, I would not have had 2 years of dorm bills.
Yeah, and you probably would have got a job instantly.
What's that?
You probably would have never made it out of the JC. Out of the community college.
No, I probably would have transferred out. Well, that's the funny thing. If I still took the same path. So the only reason why I went into finance is because I interned at a mortgage lender during my college summers, right? And became a processor and an underwriter. That's the only reason why I did it. I would have done the same thing because
you would have done the same thing
because I used family connections to get those jobs.
Right.
Right. And so that's what got me those. I would have used the same connection to get that same job over the summer at that same place, and I probably would have done the same thing. But I would have done the same thing without ending up with 2 years of dorm bills. And the funny thing, my second year, I sublet my dorm room out to live off campus and rent a room in a house. So I sublet my dorm room just to another student. And then I lived off campus in a house in a place that cost more than my dorm.
Mm.
So I sublet the dorm out. So when he was paying me for my dorm, covered the cost of the dorm. But my current living arrangement was greater than that.
Mm.
Right. So I was paying more to live off campus, but it was a cool place to live. I chose it for other reasons. So I would have left with same level of education finished, but at least I wouldn't have had, number one, that expense. And then of course, the tuition is different going to a 4-year to a UC than it is going to a community college, right?
Hell yeah.
Pell Grants would have covered everything community college, but not at a UC, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I would have given it the college try and left debt free. Right? It's a big difference, right? And who knows? I may have done better in the classes, and I may not have gone into finance. And so I may have stuck it out and probably gone to finance anyway. But who knows? It's always a who knows type of scenario, right? But so in that kind of environment, yeah, I would say that having programs like affirmative action, I don't think that for a student of color, it should make a difference. I mean, I think I would rather advise a student of color to take the community college route.
I think I'll tell everybody to take the community college route. If you ain't got no bread,
I
or
think
if you ain't got no scholarship,
right? So
if you got no scholarship, no bread, go to community college.
Yeah. So I don't think that. I mean, that's not. I mean, that's not. But where I think that affirmative action. See, the problem with it is this. I mean, if I don't think programs like that are good in a private setting. I don't think that should be something that a company takes into. See, I don't think that in education, communities can be hurt by the lack of that program. Right. Okay. Let me say so basically, here's the thing. So if you go into a work setting, right? Because it happens in work too, right? Where people are hired not because of merit, right?
Oh yeah.
Now, what's the argument? So what's the argument about that? So why do programs like that exist to take merit out of the equation? You're not being hired because of your scores, or you're not being hired because of what you can do for the company. Okay, so if each one of us had a larger company, right, and we have positions opening up, right, positions where the person filling them can definitively add to our bottom line.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we want to hire the person who can best add to our bottom line.
Right.
The person who can further us in that. I mean, companies exist to make money.
Right.
Okay. So we make a decision based on how much further that person can take us. Okay. That should be why we hire them.
Yep.
Okay.
Who can do the best work with the least amount of oversight?
Yeah. The best person best suited to the job itself. The person who can get the job done. Okay. Really get it done the best. So you're looking at all these applicants, and you basically look at their statistics and you say that person can fill this position best. Okay. Regardless, I mean, you shouldn't even bring them in for an interview until you've weeded out the ones that can't. Right. So you look at their statistics, and the empirical statistics. You look at, for example, let's say that a requirement is a college is a bachelor's, or let's say a requirement's a master's. Okay, these levels of requirements eliminate. So if you have a master's, you're qualified to apply. That's one of the requirements, right? Now you can apply along with the other people with masters. If you have a bachelor's, you can apply. Okay, you cannot. It's a cutoff, right? So you have to have a master's. So that weeds out those with only bachelors. Only masters and above can apply, right? So then you get those people in there. Now you look at, depends on the position, right? If okay, a great example is an attorney, right? So what do they have to have? They have to have a JD minimum, right? You have to have a Juris Doctor, and they have to have passed the bar in your state. Okay, they have a JD and they pass the bar. That's a minimum level of requirement, right? Now, attorneys are essentially salespeople. When they're coming on as associates, their job is going to be to mean like, attorneys sell. They rack up clients and they bill. They bill hours.
Billing hourly.
Yeah, and they have to bring their own client. They'll bring clients on board, right? In order to make partner, you have to be able. So you have to bill a crazy amount of hours. You have to bring clients on, right? So you need to bring on people who can bring on clients. Okay, so that's why the school matters. Networking for attorneys is important. Okay, that's why a lot of Asian attorneys end up. You'll see a lot of Asian attorneys in public law. Like when I say public, they'll be like attorney general type things, or they'll be public defenders, or they'll be prosecutors. Okay, because they don't bring on clients. They're not salespeople. Okay, that's not their function. Okay?
Right.
That's where they'll do that because they may not have. Like I knew somebody really well before. He couldn't get into one of the top tier firms, Chinese. Okay, the firms he wanted to work on, basically their clients pay retainers. A lot of wealthy Chinese people don't believe in paying retainers. They only pay attorneys when they need them. They don't believe in giving a law firm money when you don't need them. Okay, they don't do that. So he really, he couldn't get work in the firms he wanted to work in. So he ended up going into real estate using his law degree. So he went and studied more about real estate law, and he used his law degree to further his real estate practice. So he was a realtor with a law degree. That's what he became. He wasn't a lawyer doing realty. He was a realtor with a law degree, working specifically with Chinese clients from overseas. Okay, that's where he ended up working with. Okay, so he maximized basically. That's what he could do, right? He was when I knew him, he was kind of pissed off about not getting into the firms he wanted to get into, and then he explained to me the reason why. It's because we're to get promoted to the higher levels, you're salespeople, right? Which is what he ended up becoming anyway, because he finally, after being bitter about it for a while, he leaned into it. He realized, shit, okay, I can make just as much money as a realtor with a law degree, but I have to sell. Realtors are salespeople. So he leaned into it. He focused on his community. And he basically leaned into exactly what the law firms told him when they interviewed him and rejected him. And he went where he could leverage his background to make the most money. So he was a firmly bilingual Chinese realtor with a law degree.
Wow.
And a good network of wealthy Chinese people that he can tap into who would not pay retainers to law firms.
Wow.
Right? So he leaned into it, and he flourished. Right? So now we talk about that. You pick the best person for the job. Okay. So the top tier law firms were rejecting him because he would not be able to. He would have to network. He would have to network into networks that he is not familiar with to try to bring on new clients, versus somebody else who has a built-in network of clients for themselves. Right. So who will I choose? The guy who's best suited to the job. And that's where I think the problem is that when you can't. I wouldn't do that for my companies. I wouldn't hire based on trade. Now, if you have a number of equally capable people, maybe then it's okay to use that as a tool to weed out your winner. If everyone's equally capable, maybe that's a potential. But but when everybody is equally capable on paper in terms of GPA, school you went to, if all those things are equal, and then if other things are equal, like the other intangibles. So let's say that they volunteered at the right law firm. I mean, like they volunteered at the right firms. They interned in the right places. So they're equal there too. Maybe that could be a tiebreaker. Who knows?
Mm-hmm.
Like you can use that kind of decision, affirmative action type such as tiebreaker. Who knows, right? But I don't think that it should be a reason specifically that trumps other more tangible qualities, right? So if I got a bunch of highly qualified people applying, and they're all willing to accept the same salary, let's say that too. Okay, I mean, if it's my company, I hire the person who is best from the bottom line. Well, how do you guys feel about that?
That's true. Like, I mean, I'm the same way. Like, I'm only hiring the people who's best. Like, that's why I looked at my experience. I'm only hiring people who I have to have the least amount of oversight,
mm-hmm.
and that will get the job done. And at this point in time, won't steal. We just had this. We just had somebody steal 114 beers from a restaurant. It was crazy.
Really?
When you think about it, it's like when you hear that amount, it's like 114 beers. And then when you start counting it, was like, that's like $700. Then it was like, I made a joke. I was like, I ain't never drank 114 beers in my life. Like, what stole that many?
They're just stockpiling them. Oh, here's an example. Okay, so when I went into mortgage finance, right? I will admit, yes, my agents that I brought on board were overwhelmingly Asian.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, a lot of Filipinos, a lot of Chinese.
Right.
Okay? Those two specific races. I had a lot of those as agents. Okay, a lot of them. Okay.
Okay.
And the reason why is because I wasn't hiring them as a DEI thing. Okay? That didn't even exist back then. I wasn't hiring them yet. Was I hiring them because of their race? Yeah, I was. But not because I'm trying to further the success of Filipinos or Chinese people.
You're using them because
their network was solid. I mean, they don't ask a lot of questions when we do loan docs. They just want the money. They just say, yeah, sign that. When you try to explain loan documents to them, they rush you through them. I know that, but you have to say it. I mean, you say what you have to say minimum to be legal, right?
Yeah. But as long I told you this, you told me know.
They rush you through it to sign. If they could, they just want you to say here, and get them a check, right?
Yep.
See, whenever I dealt with traditionally American clients, a lot of my Asian agents were dealing with people who just got here. So Filipinos just arriving within the past 7 years, okay? Chinese people who may not even be here yet, right? Buying properties over here in preparation of arriving, right?
Right.
They really don't care. I mean, they just want to close this deal. So, but when we deal with Americans, let's say a third generation Filipino, second generation Chinese person, or any standard American, they got questions over and over. I mean, so many questions to get the deal started. So many questions to sign the doc. I mean, doc signing for an American would take 10 times longer than for a newly arrived Asian. It's insane, right? And and a lot of them aren't loyal. They'll switch. I'll be processing a deal. I'll be processing a mortgage for someone. I mean, somebody I got through regular marketing channels, right? Through marketing channels. And partway through, they ghost you because they leveraged to get a better deal through some other mortgage company. Right? No, what happened? Right? Whereas when we're dealing with clients generated through my Asian agents.
Yep, ain't no shopping around.
Yeah,
they going through you.
It's somebody's niece, nephew, aunt, uncle, firm referral from a friend. I mean, to
This guy good. You use him.
Yeah, to ghost you would cause like a rupture in their family. They won't do that.
I get it.
Yeah,
That's the type of people I want to do business with.
that's
That's
why.
what I'm talking about.
That's why. Not because I'm trying to further a race of people in the
No,
in the
I'm just trying to do easy business.
Yeah, I want the
man.
path of least
They be
resistance.
making it racist, Armand. That's what I'm talking about. Everything is always racist. No,
Right?
it's about this paper. That's it. It is. I'm trying to make
Yeah.
easy money right now.
Like we would.
And you want to make it difficult.
And it's funny. We always had that comment. Our escrow officers who would be there to supervise all the signings.
Yeah.
Right? They would always comment to me how easy it is to do the signings for my clients. Man, they always say, man, they never had easier clients than the ones that I brought.
Yep.
Like, they would tell me stories of like, and family members of theirs that they're doing the things for. Man, they ask so many questions that keep us forever. And then see, the funny thing with my clients, a lot of times they do things on site. So we would do their docs at their homes. So the escrow officer would actually have to go out there. My clients would actually make food for these people. So they get out there, there's dinner for like they're getting treated to me like it's like
hospitality.
Yeah.
Man.
And that's why that's why I do it. Did I have regular American agents? Yeah. I mean, thing is that they're agents. So to me, I hire everybody because it doesn't really cost me. I may have to provide a desk, but I don't. No, they're all they're all they're W-9 folks. They're 1099 employed. They're 1099 contractors. They produce, they get paid. They don't produce, they don't get paid. And so what ends up happening is the only ones who end up lasting are the ones with networks. The Asian ones.
You know what, Armand? I just realized, and it's no offense to nobody, but getting rid of not affirmative action, but getting rid of DEI is making America great again. It allows you to do stuff like that. I mean, and not have to deal with it.
And it's funny though. I mean, like I would dread running a major firm in this climate. I mean, DEI is beginning to loosen up, but could you imagine running a major company during the height of DEI, where your people are being forced to hire people that really don't. I will fight against it tooth and nail. You're not gonna tell me who I can and can't hire. Yeah. You're not gonna make me hire somebody just because of their skin color. Yeah.
You're just not. And at the end of the day, that's not saying that I don't like hiring people that look like me. I love hiring people that look just like me. But I'm just saying, like,
if they're the best people for the job.
If somebody, like, if it comes down to this person that look like me, but then it's this other person that don't look like me, that work harder, might do it for less, and I know he not gonna steal, I'm taking him. Like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I remember when I worked at FedEx. It was this I remember I used to work with one of the managers, and he showed me the hiring process, right? And like I remember he looked at this one girl's resume, and she had like graphic design elements, and he was like, "Yeah, I can tell she's gonna be somebody who steals." And I was like, and I had to think about it. I was like, oh, shoot, yeah, she might steal. And you know what I'm saying? I thought about it, and it's like, you can look, like, remember I told you, like, I had a little system when I used to hire people. I had like a little star system, right? A lot of times at the star system, there weren't a lot of people that looked like me that passed the star system. It just happened. And it is what it is. You're not going to make me hire a 3-star recruit over a 5-star recruit just based off of race. I'm sorry. That's racist right there.
Yeah, it's sometimes racism. I mean, there's a thing about so this is what I've experienced about racism as for myself. I never experienced a lot of it because if I did stand out as an individual, it wasn't because of something cultural. Okay, so you guys knew me before I was more casual, right? Like Raymond, you knew me towards the tail of my, like, I'm always in a suit. Yeah. Right. And they're really, really elegant ones too. Right.
Yeah.
So what makes me stand out is the fact that I'm dressed better than pretty much anybody in the room. I don't care who you are.
Yeah. You always stood out inside the room.
Yeah. No matter who, I don't.
It's that guy in the suit.
Yeah, I don't care how rich the person is. My suit's always better than yours. I mean, like 100%.
Right.
Okay, there's no problem. Yeah, like, well, there will be some people whose suit's more expensive, but very rarely, right? And in the environments I worked in, that's good, right? When it comes to finance, I mean, like, yeah, that's a good thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if I stood out as being more suited. Okay, not because of what I'm wearing is anything culturally based, but there's a certain elegance to it. I dress like a business person. Okay, and that's the environment I'm gunning for, right? I just think that so there are cultural things that I mean, if I wanted to dress culturally Filipino, I could. Right. There's a thing called a barong. I think I've shown you guys it before. The Filipino formal wear. Right. Filipino formal. You never see Filipinos wearing. The reason why you don't see Filipinos wearing cultural formal wear in the U.S. to non-Filipino events. I mean, you will see Filipinos wearing Filipino formal wear to a Filipino event. You will see that. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You won't see Filipinos wearing Filipino cultural business wear or formal wear to an interview. Ever.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And the reason why is Filipinos as a whole are a lot more open to assimilating. You don't see a lot of Filipinos in America trying actively to stand out as Filipinos. Okay. We've been coming here for a long time, and around the world, no matter where we go, we kind of adapt to the culture we're put into. Okay. We try to become Americans.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We actively try that, right? Whereas I see people from other cultures who will go to job interviews wearing something culturally significant from where they come from.
No.
But you've seen it, haven't you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Where somebody shows up like, what's it? Example, like let's use black folks, right? Was it a daishiki?
Yeah, don't wear no dashiki.
I've seen people show up to interviews wearing that.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I've seen that. People showing up wearing something super colorful, right? You know, they're either wearing that or they're wearing something where there's an element to their outfit that kind of shows off a heritage aspect,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
right? I've seen that. Obviously, if you have to wear something because of religious reasons, you should wear that item.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like Jewish folks got to wear the yarmulke indoors, right? Yeah, you should do that. You have to do that, right? And that's something that like it's expected part and parcel, right? But that's one of those items where normally people who dress like that, who dress culturally, oftentimes they're going to be the ones who are going to they're going to cause problems at work sometimes.
Yep.
Right? It's just because, they're going to be assertive about things that that are not necessarily work related.
Oh yeah. It's just like if you walked in with a Mexican flag hat on in the restaurant, I'm going to assume certain things about you.
Yeah. Like,
If you walk in with a dashiki on, I'm going to assume certain things about you.
yeah. If you walk through an interview with a MAGA pin,
I'm going to
also
assume
problematic.
certain things about you.
I don't want somebody who's going to have strong opinions and who's going to get offended at every little thing that happens at work.
Oh,
Yeah,
no.
I mean, work should not be an environment where people try to offend other people.
No, definitely.
But at the same time, I think, and this is my own thing, there's things you just gotta let it go. People will
Gotta let it go.
People will use certain phrases, and they don't intentionally mean to insult you. And if you're gonna say anything to them about it, you find appropriate time. Like some people will use terms that are not necessarily intended to offend, but they might. Right?
Yeah.
Like here's one. Okay, I've used this before, but think about this. Okay, the term "you people."
Yep.
Right.
Don't
Okay.
send no you people around no me.
Okay. So like I mean, and it could be used. It could be used for many races, right? Like somebody who encounters a lot of Filipinos, and they realize that, man, you people smile so much. I mean, the Filipinos are tremendously friendly around the world, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, like, you see Filipinos on cruise ships all the time. If you take cruises,
Yep.
you will encounter Filipinos doing everything, from singing in the bands to making your
Mm-hmm.
pastries. They're your regular chefs. They're your cabin
Getting the
boys. They're your
towels,
waitresses.
they doing
Yeah,
everything.
everything. You people are so friendly, right? And I've heard that a lot of times in the Philippines, especially in the bars and restaurants I've run. Man, foreigners, you people are so incredibly friendly.
Yeah.
That's not meant to be offensive. The way in the way they're saying it, they're not meaning to offend. They're lumping us into one group of people that they are making a comment on,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like, okay, so yeah, I admit I said this. This is funny. I was with a group of African American clients, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's an environment in which there's a lot of photos being taken. They want to come on, jump in here. They keep having me jump in the photos, right? And I'm not a short guy, right? Especially if it's like if I'm wearing either a suit or if I'm wearing a suit or I'm in my motorcycling outfits, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm 6'1", right? Because I wear my biker boots have heels, right? Okay, I'm
Mm-hmm.
not a small guy, and I'm not skinny either, right? I'm a decently big person. But in
Mm-hmm.
these photos, I'm a good 4 inches shorter than almost everybody else.
Yep.
Okay, so I'm in there. I'm like, and I said, "Dang, people are so tall," because they are tall. I mean, like, it specifically meant, and I mean it that way. I mean to say, black people are. I'm
Very
specifically
bigger.
saying
Like,
that's why I'm saying you people. So I mean, black people are so tall. I mean, yes, I do mean it. You people, black people are so tall, but that's the
mhm.
comment because they are tall.
And when
Okay.
somebody hit you with you people, somebody hit you with that.
No, I had one person who didn't know me there, kind of looked me sideways, and the people who did know me, they're just shaking their hands at him. No, 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 that's how he is. Just let it go, let it go,
Yeah, let that shit go.
because they knew me. They're my
Yeah.
clients, and I become close, so they knew me. So one person who did not gave me a little bit side eye, and everybody, the rest of me, oh, they just waving their hands
Yeah.
at her.
Chill out.
It's like let it go, let it go, let it go.
Yeah.
Right?
I don't mean
Okay, there's
nothing.
some things that and I've been in some of my clients. They've been around me so long that they've come to that they treat. The funny thing is this: they treat me how they should probably treat everybody. Okay, they have to take into context, right?
Mm-hmm.
Had I said that in the first week I was working with them, I'd have probably gotten into an argument with them. They probably would have not reacted that way. And I mean, like over time, they've come to value what I do for them, and they've gotten to know me, right?
Right.
So little by little, my quote unquote casual racism has endeared me to them.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that's the thing. So certain things are not said to be offensive, right?
No. It just sounds offensive.
Yeah. See, the thing is, I just want an environment of mellow people who aren't gonna take offense to every little tiny thing that pops out. And if something is truly offensive, if it's and you realize it's not meant to be the way that they're saying it's not meant to be offensive, but it is, right? You should find the right time to talk to them about it. Like it's like
Yeah.
bring it up in a friendly conversation. Just say, hey man, that thing you say, diffuse it. I mean, like I know you don't mean anything by it, but you probably really shouldn't say that. Like
Yeah.
like white folks who use the N word.
Oh yeah. That man.
Okay. So there's some folks who do, right?
White folks who use the N-word RUINs. That's how I look at it.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna treat you like one.
Yeah. So somebody I mean, like, like I've seen people say that, oh man, I've grown up using that word. All my friends are black. I had that thing, right? And I use it all the time.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, you've grown up with these folks and they've gotten used to you, right? It's a very
Right.
small
But that
group,
ain't everybody.
but yeah,
Right.
you shouldn't use that in the bigger group of people who don't know you, right?
Right.
If that's your group of friends and they're used to it and they're truly okay with it, and and honestly they probably are, because they would have said something long ago if they were not, right? But that's only you, not introduce another person that they don't know into the mix, who they're not going to take it from them.
Could be
Yeah.
consequences.
Yeah. And the other white person will say, wait a second, but he said it. And they're like, yeah, dude, we've known him for 15 years, right? And he's a close friend. And so that's one of those things where, yeah, certain things you got to bring a person's. And also, in an office environment, in a business environment, generally speaking, people should be able to read a room. So you really shouldn't have that specific problem in an office environment. Because like you said, if somebody is in a professional environment, throwing around those like truly offensive terms,
not a smart person.
nah, yeah, they probably shouldn't be there in the first place anyway.
Nah, you shouldn't be here in the first
Right.
place.
So
You
yeah,
know,
so that
I like people. Smart people are closet racists.
yeah.
That makes sense.
So I mean, everyone has preferences and everyone has opinions. Everyone to some degree is, I mean, like, you know, like racism isn't necessarily hating a race, but racism could be treating a race of people differently. That could be a way to look at race. It doesn't have to be necessarily like true hate, right?
Yeah.
Like racism could be, you can flip it. You can use racism as in like, oh, you treat them better because they're a specific race. Like think about that, right? Okay, so we're jumping into the other area. Quentin, we talked about this a little bit. So you get people who are just enamored with Japanese people. They love they love the culture, they love the food, they love the history, they love the people,
anime,
everything. They love the entertainment aspect, they love everything, right? And they're learning everything they can. They love the language, right?
And they don't like black people.
And they treat Japanese people better because they just love them for some reason. For some reason or other. We won't get into the reasons. Okay? And they're treating them better than other people. Is that racism? Yeah.
Yeah.
In a different angle. It's a different angle though. Right?
Yep.
It's instantly better treatment because they're Japanese. It's racially based. Right? Or instantly better treatment because they're Filipino. I get that's funny. A lot of people become, once they visited the Philippines, a lot of people become like positive Filipino racist. Let's call it that, positive racist, right? Because they just love how they were treated there. They suddenly find an incredible respect for Filipino people because of how friendly they were, how well they were treated, all sorts of crazy. And then they see how people, I mean, the biggest comment I get is the Philippines is a place where you can see vastly different lives at the same time. Like in America, in LA, right? If you're in Beverly Hills, okay, it's upscale. Calabasas, upscale. You don't see the flip side. So when things are bad, they're bad. When things are great, they're great. You don't see really a mixture of the two. Things will get like as you leave good neighborhoods, it'll get incrementally, it'll go downhill until it becomes bad, right? Little by little.
Downhill.
You're going down little by little. It's changing, right? In the Philippines, they're mixed. So you could be in the financial district and you'll have little kids going through the traffic begging for change from cars. You see them tapping. You'll get that in a financial district. Okay, you'll see like shanties next to major towers. So it's all combined, right? And so people will see people enduring hardship. Okay, and poor people over there, they really still have a very positive outlook on everything. They endure without I guess despairing. So I get that comment a lot, right? So people who go there and experience the country always leave, and now they're really into the Philippines and Filipino food and Filipino. It's weird. Okay. Whereas with the Japanese, like I mean, I guess we can blame anime for that. People become Japanophiles because they just the anime is their ambassador, right?
True.
Okay, we don't have that for the Philippines. You have to go and experience it, or spend enough time on cruise ships.
Yeah, that's true. Spending enough time on the cruise ship, I
can appreciate
saw me
Filipinos.
I appreciated Filipinos in that one.
Yeah,
they made it a lot more enjoyable.
Yeah. Oh, dude, Rim, I didn't tell you. Rim, so I showed Quentin. I didn't realize it, but my old bar, Handlebar, is on an episode of Anthony Bourdain's one of Bourdain's TV shows.
Oh, really?
Prominently, Quentin. I showed it to Quentin. It was prominently featured.
Really?
When he went to the Philippines, yeah. So there.
And what did he do? What happened?
No, he was there. He was there drinking beers because it was an episode. It was a Christmas episode in the Philippines, and they were talking about the culture and the people. and I guess they were talking about the fact that labor is an export.
Oh yeah.
And they were talking specifically about, see, the number one export is domestic help.
Mm-hmm.
The number two export is entertainers.
Okay. Yeah, that makes
Okay,
sense.
so he was talking about Filipino cover bands. So
Uh-huh.
he basically highlighted 3 cover bands, and one of them was playing in Handlebar.
They were
Mm.
good though, man. They were real
They
good.
were good, yeah, but they really showed Handlebar pretty. I mean, like, they had the logos everywhere. All my old friends, my old biker friends, were there. It
Oh
was
wow.
pretty trippy. Yeah, 2016.
Oh, okay.
2016.
Well,
Of
it's
course,
still good though.
remember
Yeah.
Bourdain. Remember Bourdain committed suicide a couple of years back.
Right.
But yeah, but it was a very philosophical episode where he
Hmm.
talked about the Philippines, and yeah, you should check it out. What was it? What's the series called? That's Anthony Bourdain. Oh, I can't remember. He has several. He has several series of his travels, chunks. He has one called No Reservations. He has another one called I can't remember. I'll look it up. Anyway, yeah. So yeah, he talked about that. But yeah, race. I mean, I just think that DEI is loosening up a little bit, and it's great that we can hire people based on merit or fit more than anything else. But
Yeah.
but an argument for DEI is this. Okay, the argument for it is that by diversifying the workplace, you're giving opportunities for people to advance in fields that traditionally people from those backgrounds have not gained a foothold in,
Mm-hmm.
right? But the thing is this, I mean, that's all well and good, but as a business owner, I don't want to sacrifice my bottom line to give somebody a foothold.
No, no,
If
no.
I
Only if they're qualified.
No, if I'm making a choice, if I as a business owner am making that choice, if I
Mm-hmm.
say I will bring on lesser qualified people to give somebody else a chance, if I want to
Yeah.
do that, I can do that. I shouldn't be forced to do that,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah, but if it's gonna mess up your bottom line to where it's gonna create a bad, say a negative, no. And
Oh
I've
yeah,
seen
that,
I've
no,
seen that. You
that
can't
I
just
mean,
hire
but
somebody just
yeah, I
because
mean, but that's what I'm saying. If I want to do that if it's my company, and I want to give people a chance who normally don't have a chance, I can make that decision if I want to. Right?
Right.
I shouldn't be forced to. If I want to
Yeah.
make my hiring based on what's best for my bottom line or my investors' bottom line, then that's how it should be. If I have full autonomy and I can diminish my bottom line in order to give somebody a chance, that should be my choice too, right?
Yeah.
If I have that full autonomy. Now, if I'm making that if my company is publicly traded, see, that's the thing about it. Investors should, I mean, especially in bigger companies where it's publicly traded, right?
Mm.
Practices like that, as an investor in a company, that also depends on why you invest. If you're an investor in a company looking to profit from your investment, you probably want your company to do better. You want the company, exceeding expectations, right? And if it's not doing as well because the hiring practices have brought on unqualified people, the CEOs can be changed. They're not permanent. They're employees, right? Even CEOs that own a huge chunk of the company can be changed, right?
Mm.
Based on the vote of shareholders. It happened to one that we all know big time, Papa John. Papa John owned crazy shares of his company,
They made them liquidated.
and he was forced out. He was relieved of his position.
Of course, yeah, my own company.
Not only that, they made him. As Zoremi said, they made him liquid. They made him sell off his shares.
They're gonna make me leave my own company. Lost your mind. I don't care what I did.
Yeah,
Lost your mind.
yeah,
Not the company I built.
yeah.
Fuck
Crazy
that.
enough, right?
I'm
But
going down with the ship.
I mean, he left with a lot of money, but still, he didn't want to leave.
And that's great upon him because I can see the papa being like, you know what? I don't want to be on these commercials no more. I'm gonna take my
Yeah.
money. I'd rather leave.
I mean, a company that would do that to me. And the thing is, and what, as we later found out, the reason why, I mean, leaked. I think it was just audio. Leaked audio from team building exercises revealed the Papa using racial slurs.
Yep.
a racial slur specifically. But the reason why is he was instructed to.
He was doing a training exercise.
It was a training exercise, team building training exercise where you were supposed to simulate a really deeply negative environment. They told him to use those specific words, and he did.
That's crazy. You don't build a company full of haters.
Yeah,
Well, they hate you.
Actually, what had happened was this: is that the leak more than likely came from the company that was hired to facilitate the exercises. So the exercises were being done by a company they brought in to do the team building. They think the leak happened from their side.
Oh yeah.
And what had happened?
That makes sense.
What was happening is that his own company. Now, once again, his own company. You blame the board, right? His own company instead of getting to the bottom of it immediately and trying to disseminate real facts, immediately made the move to distance themselves from him.
We can't be here. We can't spend this one, Papa.
Yeah, basically.
Where it's like you could have spent it.
I mean, they
like previously.
No, then? I mean, no. They could have spun it. They could have spun that. I mean, like they could have come out. They instead of immediately reacting to it, right? Because how bad could share value get, right? Instead of they should have.
We would have got to the pandemic and look what happened.
Yeah, they should have just investigated it properly, and then when finding out exactly what happened, come out swinging. It's like he was told to say these things by a company that was facilitating team building exercises. We were simulating an environment. He was told to do it. Other people did it too, right? Because they were told specifically to do it. Okay.
Somebody leaked something that was out of context.
It was out of context, right? It was like saying it's like saying these are words we can't use, and actually saying them. It's like these are words we cannot use, and here's the R word, here's the N word. You know, it's like it's
Papa, say the N word for us.
It's a private environment, right? It's supposed to be something that it's just for the people in the room, right? Anyway, so they could have come out swinging, but they didn't. So
they rather made Shaq the face of Papa John.
So Papa bailed with a ton of money still. I mean, like, you know, the guy.
Papa's still making money.
Yeah, the guy's still solid. But anyway, so I mean that's one of those scenarios where it's like, yeah, that's. But you know, from a company's, I think they diminished since then. I think Papa John's has. I can't say if it did or not, but I think that as a company, they're not as strong as they were back when Papa was running it.
Yeah, because Papa knew what he was doing. He's the one who ran. He's the one who built this.
Yeah, it was his personality.
Started this Papa John shit.
It's his personality. It's him. Like, and it's the brand itself didn't feel like a giant company. It felt like a person.
Now I feel like Shaq's company.
Well, he doesn't. Yeah. Does he even make commercials for it?
Like he don't even eat pizza.
Wait, does he even make commercials for it?
Yeah,
he does.
He was.
Well, he was for a while, but now.
And then he had the Shaq-a-roni, and they brought that back.
Yeah, so I don't know, but that just, I mean, like, you know, that's, I mean, a company where it's publicly traded, I mean, like, you know, as an investor, I'd want that company to make hiring decisions based on how much money they can make me.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like I was telling you about my little. I hate to even say that. It sounds so feminine, but yeah, I have been crushing over this dude, the guy Palmer Luckey, because he's amazing to me. But like. Wait,
Raymond, are you establishing a man crush Monday here?
I mean, no, I'm not.
What's next? Address?
I hate to say it, but it's like I really admire this guy because it was like he's like I've watched a couple of his interviews and I think it's very funny. He wears Hawaiian shirts like you and does freaking keynote speeches, like, you know, in the Hawaiian shirt. He does all of his interviews in this Hawaiian shirt. And it was just crazy when he talks about his story. Like, he gets bought out by Facebook. He builds this VR platform. He builds the VR platform as far as, like, he was taking all the old VR headsets until he made a good one, right?
Okay.
He makes a really good one. He gets bought out by Facebook. He sees Trump running for president. He liked what Trump talking about. He donates $10,000. This guy's a billionaire, though. He just donates $10,000. And they go crazy. And they find a way to fire him off of a company that he built. Like, that just doesn't make any type of sense. For me, for me donating to Trump.
Wait, so
I wish he would.
how long ago was this when this happened to him, when he got?
It's like 2016 when during the
Oh,
first
okay,
one.
the first coming of Trump.
Yeah, the first coming to Trump.
Okay,
And then the whole thing is like that was illegal. That was illegal for them to do that.
was it?
It was. You're not supposed to fire nobody for political affiliation.
Well, no, I mean, like, remember, that may be the reason they did it, but they can remember. Okay, you can do stuff as long as you can out them for other reasons. To me, like, when you remove somebody from a board, or like when you remove somebody from a position, you don't necessarily even have to tell them why.
Yeah, and I think I don't know. It's kind of blurry.
Remember the best. This if you're being removed for reasons that are not legitimate, you will be told, "Oh, we just don't really think that this is a good fit right now."
Mm-hmm.
Because you don't have to tell them why. Because remember, when shareholders vote, the vote's that's it, right? They don't have to tell you why. I mean, like, if they say, we just need to go in, we feel like we need to go in a different direction. This is not a really good fit right now. That probably means, dude, you don't need Trump.
Right. I mean, but what he said though was like the most of the people who ousted him already have left Facebook because he does business with Facebook now because he went I think he said he went in bed and built his own AI, and like I said, he's selling weapons to Ukraine and Taiwan now.
He pivoted to something different.
Right. He pivoted the same day. He said the same day he got fired is the same day he started his new company. He took the same people that was working with him at Oculus. He took them, and he said a month later they started Andrew. And I think the flyest thing he did, he had an interview where you can kind of tell he's military connected. He did an interview on, it was like a military boat or something like that. Like it was a military boat, and he brought the interviewer on, and he was talking about how he had the world's largest video game collection. He bought the world's largest video game collection. And she was like, "Where is this video game collection?" He was like, "It's one of my missile silos that I bought." Yeah, he was like, "Yeah, I collect missile silos from like the government." And she was like, "Where is this missile silo?" And he was like, "I can't tell you where the missile silo is.
Undisclosed location.
I can't disclose the location." But it was like, I'm listening to this guy, and it was just like, hearing stuff like that. It's just a different mode of thinking.
Somewhere in one of his missile silos, Jesse the Body Ventura is hosting his podcast.
Yeah, but like, exactly. Like, but I'm listening to this guy and just made me think differently. Like, where most people are thinking about what car they're going to buy and what jewelry they're going to get, this guy's buying missile silos, military grade equipment.
Yeah.
It made me just think about life in a totally different aspect. That's why I admire this guy right now. He made me think about life differently.
Gotta admit that, yeah. But it's funny. So he could have done that in this coming of Trump, and he'd be fine.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's not like he's not fine. I mean, like, in fact, it sounds like he's better for it.
Billionaire.
See, but there's a thing about him. I mean, like making that pitch. So something like what happened to him, basically being ousted because of a donation to Trump. That's a great way. I mean, if you want to get on that dude's good side, that's a great way to do it.
Oh yeah.
Basically get ostracized for backing Trump, and if you're big enough, Trump will back you.
He got military contracts now.
Yep.
Man, he the one who's pushing this whole art, like drone warfare right now.
Yeah, so that's the move. I mean, like, it makes sense. I mean, so he backed Trump. He got ousted publicly, and Trump probably helped him out directly. See, now, remember, that was a time where where you could be ostracized. Remember, as a tech bro, see, the whole in this second coming of Trump, the tech bros are all behind her now. At least they say they are, and they have to publicly toe the line.
Yeah.
What they feel privately, who knows, right? But they all attended the inauguration. So remember, you saw the inauguration. There was Bezos, there was
Musk.
Zuckerberg was there.
Musk,
of course, was there with his freaking kid on his shoulders.
Yeah.
Right? All the big guys were all there. They had to be. The Cook, they were all there, 100%. Okay, they had to. Okay, because it's a different world now.
Yeah.
First time around was a different story.
Yeah, because I think his main thing that he's pushing is that a lot of innovation came during wartime where the tech industry was working for the government.
Yeah,
And that's where
it's
you
true.
got a lot of the innovation. He was like, there's not a lot of innovation because tech is not working with the government.
Mm-hmm.
And that was his whole spiel. And it was like I said, it just makes you think a little bit differently about what's going on.
Yeah,
The guy a little bit is ahead of his curve. I agree with that one.
yeah, and I'm sure that he's for his hiring practices, he's hiring those best suited to the jobs that they're in.
Man, he talked about most of the people that he hired were people that he met in online chat rooms. There's a guy who didn't go to real school. There's a guy who homeschooled. So everybody he met was through chat rooms. And from the chat rooms, they like he said one of his main employee, somebody he met in the chat room when he was a teenager, he asked him like, "Hey, you want to go start a VR company?" And the guy showed up on his front doorstep. That was the first time they met in real life.
There we go. Yeah. So okay. So we've talked. Okay. So we're gonna have to wrap this sucker up.
Yep.
We've talked. It's a good conversation. I think we've got a lot of stuff out there. We've talked about quite a few different things. We've tied them into how it affects business,
Oh yeah.
right? And how we would do things. You do things the way you want to. Your company, your choices, right? So
Right.
out there, I mean, we've talked about how we would run things if they were our companies, and how we do run things in our companies, right?
Mm-hmm.
We've talked about what we think is positive, what we think is negative. How things are different in today's environment versus the past. And remember, just the knowledge we put out there, I mean, the opinions we put out there, right? You take what works for you and what works for you and works, and run with it. What you don't think works for you, don't take that, right? I mean, I'm sure there's some of the stuff we said makes sense to you. I'm sure that a lot of it doesn't, right? What works for you, use it. Stuff that you never considered, see if it does work for you, because you never know until you try. I mean, give it a shot.
Give it a shot.
See if some of the stuff that we've said will work. I mean, because I like to think of us here as more practical than other people.
Definitely.
Okay, does more practice. See, to me, are my convictions about things super strong? Not really. Some of us have strong convictions about certain things. Like, I would wear a progressive kilt if it helped my presence, right? Raymond ain't showing his knees in something that looks like a skirt. That's where he draws his line, right?
Ain't wearing no skirt, and kissing no man, and I'm definitely not smoking no blacks and freaking no hen dog during the podcast.
Really? You wouldn't do that?
I ain't bringing out no hen dog and smoking no black and mild or mine. I'm not. And even right now, my weed smoking days is over. I ain't even
Wait, so
smoking weed.
so if we did an episode where we were gonna enjoy us some fine cigars and scotch, you wouldn't do that?
Probably not. It depends
Really?
on where I'm at. Because I think I'm announcing this because I'm trying to get very, very serious about it. I want to go into living a viceless lifestyle.
Really?
Yes. I think now it because sometimes I still battle with it where sometimes I think to myself like, man, you can still drink some champagne. Or like how you just said.
Okay, for sure. I want to talk about this next episode. For sure, we're going to talk about that because viceless. Okay, what's okay? Anything can be a vice if you enjoy it too much.
Right.
Okay, so viceless. That's kind of a bold statement, right?
Yeah.
I mean, exercise could be a vice.
You think so?
Can be.
If
it dominates your life, if it takes away time from other things that could potentially be important, it could be a vice.
Oh, okay. So anything that takes away your time from something.
Well, no, I mean, okay. So
Nah, we gotta save it for the next
You gotta save the
podcast.
next one, but yeah, but definitely.
Let's talk. We're gonna talk about vice on the next podcast.
We're gonna talk about your viceless journey. Help you define some stuff. Your viceless journey, because that's bold. So
yeah, I know, and it's very like it's been very very hard to even grasp.
okay, so we're gonna bring some terms. We're gonna talk about straight edge. Okay, what it means, what it doesn't mean. Because you're not going to be like the viceless asshole, are you?
No,
See,
I'm not gonna be the viceless asshole, but like okay, like why I've been saying that I'm gonna go viceless is because recently, like because I've really tremendously stopped smoking weed.
Okay.
Like, and I like sometimes I'll occasionally do it. I hate how I think when I smoke weed now.
Really?
I hate how I
think. You got to
think
talk about that
when I
deeper,
smoke weed.
because I mean, like, okay, so when I say the viceless asshole, you've all seen them, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
People who will live a lifestyle, and everybody judges. I don't care who you are, you judge people. Yeah, you can say that you're the least judgmental person in the world, but everybody judges everybody else. It's how you. I mean, it's how you display it public. I mean, it's how you vocalize it, right? No matter what you say, you're judging people. It's everything's there's judgment in everything, right?
Okay.
It's about if you say it out loud, right? Some people just can't not say it, right? I mean, you get in a situation where it's like, okay, except for Quentin has never experienced this. I go up and down in weight dramatically my whole life, right? I've never been skinny. I have been fat, right? Right now I'm not in great shape, but I'm not fat necessarily, right? But I've seen people who are in incredible shape, but that's all they could. I mean, like, and anytime they encounter someone who's not, okay, all they can talk about them is like, you got to get in better shape. And they're like trying to actively take over their life. It's like someone they barely met. They're trying to tell them to get them to commit to going to a gym.
Yep. I got a cousin that said that. Get around me. He'd be like, Ray, you don't love yourself.
It's like running to a born again Christian who just won't stop until they get you to get baptized.
But everybody won't get the same result from the same thing that you do.
That's true.
But that's the thing. They may not want you to do what they're doing. They want you to care, right? Like I know people oh man, you don't care, you don't care about yourself because but you see what I mean, there's folks like that, right? But everybody judges everybody, right? Okay, so I could be.
Man, look, we going into it. Like,
okay, let's
cut it off because
this is it.
Like, it's gonna be a good conversation next time.
Okay,
I'll be ready for it. And you know what? That should be the health episode. We're gonna
it is gonna be it's gonna be a health episode. We're gonna talk about timing, because you guys know like fitness, health based content is an incredible moneymaker for content.
Yep, we should definitely talk about it. Let's talk about it. Yep,
let's talk about this.
Got our next episode.
That's our next one. Okay, so guys, if you want to see a bunch of people who are out of shape, criticizing people who are out of shape and in shape, and the attitudes that they have, yep. If you want to see some hypocriticism going on, tune in next time. Because I'm gonna make fun of fat people. I'm gonna make fun of fit people. It's the attitudes that come with them.
Yep.
Right. So here we go. That's our next time up. So guys, thank you guys all for watching. Thank you guys for being here. And we should do the health episode. We should do it doing something unhealthy.
What, like eating cake?
Either eating cake, smoking, or drinking.
Drink Coke all day.
I'm gonna sit down. I'm gonna crack open a scotch, I think, for this, and maybe smoke a cigar and talk about health and fitness.
I have a stack of Cokes just lined up.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna tell. Okay, talking about that. Okay, on this episode, if I forget, remind me to talk about the smoking marathon. That's all I'm gonna say about it. The smoking marathon. Okay?
We'll talk about the smoking marathon.
Okay, remind me if I don't bring it up. The smoking marathon. Okay.
All right.
Awesome. Good. Awesome conversation. Sounds good, man. Okay, so I guess we sign off. We need to get an outro going here sometime. We've got to talk about the outro, but It's a good one.
You can use your ramen flavor. No glove, no love.
No glove,
glove,
no
no
love.
Oh, Raymond, did we tell you your spontaneous? I think we did. We told you your spontaneous stripper name.
Oh yeah, I'm the Irish sausage
No,
or something.
your summer sausage.
Summer
Summer
sauce.
sausage. Yeah, I am somebody's summer sausage.
There we go. And with that, Summer Sausage signs off. No glove, no love. Wrap it up. We see you guys next time.
See you next time.
Have a good night,
Good
y'all.
night, guys.
Yep.